I'll send you the link. All right, they're about to start recording. You're going to get me in trouble.
All right, it's me, Trell.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You daydreaming now?
Yeah, I was. All right, I'm ready.
Just say who you are.
I'm Cairo.
And we got Nathan on the ones and twos. And we are the Storytellers. What are you thinking about? You literally sitting there staring off the street thinking about something.
I got a phone call that...
Was it disturbing?
No, it wasn't disturbing. It was unexpected. Bad timing. I'm trying to think about what we're going to talk about. I know I definitely want to get on the vaccine. And probably talk some sports. But the vaccine is the biggest thing. Because a lot of things came up about it.
You want to finish that game about talk about video games first, or jump right into that? Or what?
Yeah, I mean, I do want your Activision account. The only thing about the video games, I mean, we were talking about how, you purchase a game digitally, it should be cheaper than buying a physical copy.
Is it not?
No.
It's not.
And
most times it's more expensive.
You would think, since it's the digital version, let's say you buy it from Microsoft store, Microsoft's making the money because it's a digital copy on their store. They don't make that money. It goes straight back to the company. That's how Game Pass works.
Yeah.
Microsoft pays those companies for those games to give them out for free or like a discount, or whatever. That's how the day one is.
They do that with the EA Vault.
Yeah.
That all those games you used to have to pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just all under Game Pass. And you have Game Pass. That's the crazy thing. Do you know that?
Yeah, I know that. I use it.
I think it should be cheaper.
It should be, right?
It should.
I mean, I paid
It's kind of like
$50.
I mean, you're saving money on manufacturing. You don't have to print a physical. You don't have to create a physical copy. Go to different like plastic manufacturers, paper manufacturers, printing, and all that stuff.
And it's not like you can make the case that, if you buy a physical copy, you can resell it later on or trade it or anything because it has no value.
Yeah.
'cause you can't trade your digital licensing.
That's what I was gonna say. You can't do that anymore. So it takes money out of the consumer's pocket too. Because I used to do it all the time. I used to buy a game, beat it, take it to GameStop or the game store up the street, turn it back in. Me and Caden still go up to the game store up the street, pick up some used copies of an old game that he might want to play, beat it, and take it back.
See, Game Pass is good for that. The only thing is if you're not playing like a variety of games all the time, you're not getting your money's worth. Like with me, I play 2 games.
See,
Yeah.
the reason Game Pass even became a thing is Microsoft went a way for like the people that don't know much about like games or whatnot. I sell you a system for like $500, right? I give you Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
That goes along with your Xbox Live Gold for like $60. So that's how it is.
It's not. You said how much?
Is it like $60 for y'all on Xbox?
No, that's how much Xbox Live costs. Game Pass is like $18 a month.
But is that included with Xbox Live?
Yeah.
So if you buy Xbox Live, you have Xbox Game Pass with it.
You have Live, and then you
Yeah,
have Game
Game
Pass on
Pass.
top. It's like Hulu, and then you have Hulu Unlimited for no ads. It's more.
Exactly.
So you have to pay the extra 18 for the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
So-
is crazy.
So yeah, so basically for that $18, you're giving your kid the access to a whole bunch of games that you might not have to pay for.
Yeah, you're right. I always
So
forget about
That's
children.
how Microsoft is looking at it.
Yeah, you're right.
Sony didn't look at it that way. Now Sony's playing catch up with PlayStation now.
Or that's what it's called, PlayStation Now.
They have PlayStation Plus and then PlayStation Now.
What's PlayStation Plus?
PlayStation Plus is basically their online service. You pay.
That's like Xbox Live.
Yeah, you pay your.
I thought it was PSN or something.
No, that's just the network altogether.
Okay.
But PlayStation Plus is basically how they get online and they get PlayStation games for gold. That's how there's another thing for like that.
Games.
So we don't have games. There's no more game. Well,
I
yeah,
was gonna
games
ask.
with gold. They do games with gold.
Yeah. So what's it?
It changes every month. It's in a rotation.
Yeah. I used to do that too. Just get a different game.
Well, I
every
mean, that's
month.
free.
Yeah, I used to check it every month to see what new games, because I would just download games.
But there's nothing but indie games now.
The thing with, well, yeah, that's fine. I used to. That's the reason why I used to get on there, because they were single player games that I can find that had a pretty good story that I would play. But the thing with Game Pass is you never know when that game is gonna come off Game Pass, and you might be playing it and then it's gone the next day.
Yeah, and Sony actually did a fix for that issue. Like that was an issue. So if you had it so let's say they have PlayStation Plus and you get free games every month. If you redeem it and then they take it off, since the fact that you had it back when you had PlayStation Plus, it's still free for you forever.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear any of that. Say it again. I wish Isaac was here, because I do that to him all the time. He'll be talking and I'll just be staring straight in his eyes and completely zoned out. And then after he's done, like, I'm sorry, I didn't hear nothing. He's just
like, I know I'm looking at you, but no, where'd you say it?
Yeah, I don't be comprehending sometimes. Go ahead.
Yeah, so PlayStation's thing for PlayStation Plus is like, let's say they decided. I was talking to you about Mafia 3 yesterday.
Yes, the game suck.
Let's say they gave you that for free and you playing it, and then you end up being there, whatever, or you're still playing it when they decide the month for that is over with. You still got it. If you redeem it, you'll still have it for free forever in your collection.
Yeah.
But they never take it away from you.
Yeah, that's what we have with games with Gold, but not with Game Pass.
Yeah, so that's what PlayStation Plus is. PlayStation Plus give you 3 games every month. You get to keep it forever.
So they just did the same thing Xbox did, right?
Yeah, with the games with Gold.
Games with Gold, yeah.
Only thing difference is Game Pass is way better than PlayStation Now. But PlayStation Now is getting better. But
why you say it's way better?
Because PlayStation Now basically is the older games from like PS3 that they're putting on there. With some new games. They're starting to put new games on there now, but it's all
Game Pass has some really good games on there. Like games that I would buy.
Yeah, like Halo.
Yeah. And that's the part where Game Pass come in the handy. Cause like Flight Simulator, when that game first came out, day one on there. PlayStation doesn't do day one. So like,
oh yeah, they do that with Game Pass. Yeah.
All next year is a whole bunch of good games coming next year for PlayStation. The new Horizon.
You said Game Pass. Oh yeah, Game Pass legit, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Can you hear him with the
I
mic?
can.
Okay.
For PlayStation, there's a whole bunch of games coming out. God of War, Horizon, Gran Turismo for people that's into racing, Saints Row, all that stuff. Those games not gonna be on PlayStation now until like 5 years from now.
That's corny. See, with Xbox, as soon as Halo Infinite came out, immediately on there.
Yeah.
Back for Blood,
It's
immediately on there.
Yeah.
And then this is Xbox. Xbox this year, when Halo Infinite come out, is day one on Game Pass.
Yeah, you can already pre-order. I mean, not even pre-order. You
Saints
can already
Row
pre-download.
that I was just talking about for PlayStation.
Pre-download
is going to be day one for Game Pass as well. You'll have Starfield coming out next year. That's Game Pass. So it's like every game that they make from Microsoft, depending on what it is or if it's a major thing, it gets put on day one. Even the AAA games, like from like Ubisoft and them, they get put on there. Like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that was Game Pass day one.
Trash. I love how much you know about this stuff, Nathan.
Because I don't like wasting money.
Oh, I thought you
I'm
just
the
like
same way.
sit at home and just research video game stuff.
I mean, that's how it is. When you don't want to spend money, you can figure out a way around it.
Heck yeah.
I was told games would be $70 in next gen. I was like, yeah, I gotta start paying attention to this. I can't just be randomly buying games for $70. And I told you, I'm the collector's guy these days. I'm buying the highest price one, but I gotta make sure it's worth it.
The thing with the $70 and Game Pass is, how long does it take for that to pay off, right? Like,
You always try to figure out math when it comes to money. But go ahead. I like it that you're at least trying.
because I'm wondering, like,
I'm legit with this. This guy I used to watch on Twitch, he said for every dollar you spend on the game, make sure you get that amount of time back.
yeah, it's like this.
Yeah,
Same thing. You know the Regal and the AMC card? I want to get one, but I've always had to, because, you know, I go to Matinee to pay $5, but Matinee isn't even $5 anymore, right? So for me to go to a movie that's $7, $8, right? And then pay $35 for a card that allows me to go unlimited amount of times, right? I would have to go at least 5 times a month. And I have to tell myself, will I go 5 times a month to pay off, for that unlimited thing to be worth it, you know? Because if I'm going to a movie like once a month, that's like $8, $15 at the max. And then I'm paying $35 a month just to see one movie.
That's how I am with the car wash. Like, I make sure I get my car wash every other day. If I'm going to pay $24 a month, I'm gonna get my money.
I might need to invest.
But then here we go again about the driving around for gas, for the cheapest gas.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
be doing
I
that
gave up
jump.
on that. I just say whatever I get.
No, see, I have a range, right? For example, we went to Pennsylvania last weekend, and I was at like 2 miles to E, and I was coming up. I saw the sign that showed like gas station coming up on next exit, whatever. Exit like a mile away. We get there. I see the big sign in the air. Gas is $3.45. I passed that jump. My car was screaming at me. Just it kept going beep, beep, beep. I made it to the next gas station. That was 309. It was worth it.
That. I mean, if it's worth it, then I get it. But
I'm
like you, man. But my biggest problem is the premium games get me. Like any free game, I pay for the cosmetics, man.
But that's justified. You got it for free, right? The premium game.
Yeah.
So that means you might as well spend some type of money on it. And
yeah.
that's what cosmetics from.
But see, Ri'Yadh doesn't spend any money on it.
Oh,
and I get it. It's like you're just, but it's a game though. It's like if somebody gets a car, they're getting it for efficiency. They're getting back and forth to work. It's like I don't need anything for this car. I don't need a nice paint job. I'm just driving it back and forth to work. I get it, but at the same time, it's like, don't you want to have a nice, fancy paint on it? And
something that makes it say, "Hey, this is my car."
Yeah.
Because anybody can buy that car.
Right.
And you don't want yours like, this guy beside me, his red just like mine.
But I guess it's different. Like Ri'Yadh will play. Like Ri'Yadh plays Call of Duty. He plays the same modes, the same gun, nothing fancy on it. It's all about kills. Whatever is the meta, whatever is the most efficient.
But I think that's different for every person, though.
Yeah, it is.
Like, for example, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think what I'm about. I'm the same way. Because I don't, I like my car. I buy my car. I have a specific type of car that I want. But it's not like, I have to stand out kind of thing. It's more of like, this is efficient for me. This is good for my pocket. This is going to get me where I need to be. This is going to house enough people to get back and forth. Because like every time I get a car, I make sure I get a car that allows me to pack stuff in it, that allows me to drive with at least 4 or 5 people in it so we can go play basketball or travel or something like that. So for me, that's what I'm looking for in a car. Whereas you might be like, I want my car to stand out. I want this to be my car. I want people to look at this and say, oh, that's Cairo's car. And I feel like Ri'Yadh's not like that in the video game space, but he is. He'll like text me and be breaking down the math of like the rewards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know anything about that stuff. He always asks me about it too.
He does me the same way. And see, that's crazy that you're not into that sort of thing. Like Nathan will probably how the Xbox rewards, if you do certain things, they give you like 10 points, and each point is like 10 cents. He's found a way to do it to where it compounds to where he has like $190 balance for doing nothing. Bing searches.
He told me that. I mean, this makes sense. He broke this down for me. He was like, if you Bing something at least one time every single day, Microsoft gives you enough rewards to where at the end of the month you have like $9 to $10 of rewards, and it pays for Xbox Live. Now you can only do that because of Xbox Live. You can pay for the whole year subscription or the month. The month is $9 something a month. So that $10 worth of rewards he gets, he literally pays it off every single. It pays for itself. Mm. And I was like, that's dope. That makes sense. But every morning I wake up, I don't think, let me Bing something, Right. And for him, it's like he goes and does the work for that. For me, it's like when I'm saving money, it's more like gas station right there. This one's too much. That one across the street is cheaper. Let's go there. It's not like, all right, let me find out what apps can find the cheapest gas. It's not like that for me. But for me, when I'm trying to save money, I'm just like, what's in front of me? What's the cheapest option, or what's the most efficient option for me in my pocket and what I'm trying to do right now? He just goes deep dive and try to figure out how to do it. I mean, it works. It's like the coupon thing. Like people will get the packages in the mail for coupons, and then they sort them out and say, all right, Monday we're going here to buy this, and make sure we make a trip to this place to buy that, because this coupon is for that place. And then we don't have to cook anything, but we can have that sit in the house. Sit in the refrigerator for tomorrow. I can cook dinner with that. But tonight we have this free pizza from Domino's because of this coupon, and we can do that tonight. And it's a lot of work that goes into that. And I get people that do it. It's just that for me, it's not always worth the time spending to do all that when I'm I'm saving money in other areas that's easier, you know? So it's funny that he'll say like, hey, I don't understand why you drive to get the cheapest gas when he's doing all that work to get the cheapest Xbox Live thing. And I'm like, well, you're saving money in Xbox. I'm saving money in gas. Eventually we come out even.
He's so odd because it's like, so he just started working and it's like, the first thing he's saying is, oh, I need to get some new tires. You don't need new tires. He's like, oh, well, I can get the top of the line. I'm like, but why though? Why do you have to get the X-rated?
I wish he was
500?
here.
It's crazy. And then he's like, oh, I think I need some new wheels. I'm like, you don't need any of that stuff. You don't need any of that. You're just trying to spend money already.
He should like write a list of things that like if he didn't have it today, then you just
certain people do that. I do that.
Yeah, I mean priority list. Like
I mean, you see how I do for Black Friday. It's like I know what I want and what I need. Mm-hmm. Every week I make a list of all the things that I need for the house, and then I buy it. And that way I'm looking up coupons. The best way. Even just now, when I was trying to order a pizza, I looked at DoorDash. You see how we was doing the math?
Yeah.
Like I have to do it that way. Then I'll go to like my Cash App, my bonuses, my credit cards, see what points I can use, how many miles I can get. It's like it may take me longer to buy something, but I'm gonna make sure I get the best rate.
And that's the difference. Is that like you did that, and I understand it, I get it. But for me, it's like Marco's is right up the street. I know medium pizzas are $6, and you can get two for $12. Boom, that's easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Everybody's different. Like, I will literally not shop at a place, or I will shop at a place I normally wouldn't if I can save money. Like my Halloween costume. I could easily go on Amazon and get it in 2 days, but I'm going to use Spirit Halloween because I get 50% off on Cash App. So it's like, might as well do something and get something that I wouldn't normally get, but save money on it.
Yeah.
Everybody's different, man.
I think for me, it's just, I put too much work into a lot of other things to where, like, when it comes to saving money, it's like, I'll save money the easiest way possible.
Well, maybe we should do a podcast dedicated to like finance, and just because I would like to get an idea of how everybody uses their finances. Because I like to think that I'm pretty good with finances.
Yeah,
all around. But I think my way, people may look at how I use it. I heard something on TikTok. It was like people associate their finances with their eating habits. People who are really picky eaters, or they're real strict, they count calories and stuff. That's how they are with their money. And people who are normally like, morbidly obese, they just eat whatever they want, whenever they want. That's how they are with their money. They spend on whatever they want right there on the spot. And if you think about it, I thought about it, it almost lines up perfectly.
Are you throwing shots at Ri'Yadh right now?
No, but if you think about it, I mean, is that not a fact? It's not even real. I mean, just look at anybody. Look at anyone that you know. Everyone who even with me, I was thinking about. I was like, yeah, you're right. I don't count calories, but I'm definitely picky with my money. I'm not cheap.
That's funny. I'm thinking about that because
I eat the same way I spend.
I'm thinking the same way because like there are times where I do count calories, and those are the times where I'm like super budgeted out to the penny. Mm-hmm. But then there are times where I'm like, forget it. Let's go splurge today, eat some good food.
That's how I am.
And then there's a time like, all right, I'll go buy something for a couple $100s or whatever.
Right, and then it's like after you eat a whole bunch, you're like, man, I shouldn't have done that. Or after you
that happens sometimes too.
Or after you buy something, you're like, man, I have,
Yo, this might be real.
It is. I mean, this was legit. It wasn't just a person. It was a psychologist.
Dude, this makes sense because on a regular basis, I try to like be efficient with how me and Kaden eat. Like I'll buy grocery for the week and I'll say, all right, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we eating this, blah, blah, blah. Friday, we'll figure it out. Saturday, we'll probably go out and eat or something like that. And I usually do that with my bills. I'm like, all right, I know I got to pay this, and the rest of this money I'm saving. This right here I might invest or whatever. I'll just leave whatever whatever's in there. And then I get another check Friday or whatever, and then I'll figure out what to do with that or just save it or whatever. But then there are times where I'm just like, I just don't feel like cooking this week. And I go all out spending fast food every single day. And then there are times with my bank account, I'm just like, I pay a bunch of gas here. I'll go buy a bunch of food here, go buy this here. I need to buy that from Amazon, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the week, I was like, man, I just wasted a couple $100 this week for no reason. So I get it.
But people like that teach me lessons. Like Ri'Yadh, one thing I will say is we're opposite the way we spend money, but sometimes I can be too strict and he can be too loose. So it's like there's times where he always says, like with the headphones, like, man, if you want it, just buy the good thing that you want and buy what you want and enjoy that instead of being cheap and then buying things, 3-4 times.
I think that's like the Amazon, the Regal and AMC card I was talking about. Like, is it worth buying the $35?
Well, in that case, you have to do the math.
Right. But that's what I'm saying, like the headphones, Xbox headset, right? You can buy one for $60, right? Mm-hmm. And it'll last forever. It'll do all the things you want to do. Or you can go buy the little cheap things at Walmart and it'll last for like a month or two and then you start like acting wonky. Then you got to go buy another one.
Right. Then
by like 4 or 5 months, you spent $60 anyway. And
that was my problem. I would buy a bunch of cheap stuff. And then after a while, it's like, man, I could have just bought the good. He paid $120 for his. And his is really nice. And it's like, you know what? Maybe I should just break down and just.
I have to see his. Because his doesn't have
They're nice. They're legit. They're lightweight, but they're sturdy. They're completely wireless. You just flip it down to talk, flip it back up.
Yeah.
It folds up. They're black. They're sleek. They're nice.
I'm trying to justify that because the ones right there are
can't really justify the performance because they sound to me. They sound the same as my $17 ones on Amazon. Mm-hmm. But when I want to get up and walk around, they're stuck to my controller.
That's it. So that's the only thing I can say. But is it worth the $120 though?
No, but there's no in between. Like you can't buy a wireless pair for $20 or $40.
That's true. That's true. But I guess as long as my controller is wired,
but
then
it all
I'm
depends
good.
on what you like, though. And I've learned that it's like even when you talk about the car, it's like I get the math, but at the end of the day, it's what I like. And that plays a big part. And I always overlook that.
Personal preference.
Yeah, I always overlook that. It's like, and you taught me that, man. You said just because people do things different doesn't mean that they're wrong.
I learned that from a missionary.
We're not talking about sex on this podcast.
All right. Go ahead. I know you want to talk about it.
What?
Next topic.
Oh, we're going to get into the nitty gritty.
That's what you want to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, only if you want to talk about it. If not,
I don't care.
I mean, I want to know why you haven't got your vaccine, and just so you know, Wash got his, but I'm gonna tell you why.
Oh, why did he get his?
It's crazy. So our place of employment.
You can hear him good, right? Mm-hmm. Oh wait, they forcing you to get it?
So apparently there was, I don't know if it started with a rumor. So what happened is we're broken into 2 divisions. Because we're CDL, and one of the guys was like, "Well, eventually all CDL drivers it's gonna be mandatory on the DOT that you have to have the vaccine." So it was like the whisper game. It got down to our office, and it was like, "Yeah, everybody needs to have it within the next 2 weeks, or you can't work here." So now everybody's panicking, getting shots immediately. I called Wash to say, "Hey man, what you gonna do?" He was like, "Man, I'm sitting here with ice on my arm right now." I was like. You punked out like that?
Was he not going to get it before that?
No, he wasn't going to get it. He didn't have it. A lot of people didn't. Like, out of 30 guys, maybe like 10 guys got their shot who wasn't going to get it.
I can understand. What do they drive? Where do they drive?
Where?
Yeah.
Just around the city. Because
I can understand if, like...
Oh, yeah. They're having interaction with people constantly. And they're in hospitals.
Yeah.
Banks. That's all we do.
I can understand too, like if you're driving, like there are truck drivers who drive. This is probably not your company that drive like to Canada or to New York and California, where they require you to have it to go into certain buildings and stuff like that.
That's how Wash is.
It makes sense.
I mean, Wash is driving like to Virginia, South Carolina, Atlanta. So
yeah, so like if Virginia said, "Hey, we're going to require vaccines for you to even come in this building or something," then. So
I'll tell you this: the guy that I work with. He wasn't going to get it because his feeling is, and he still hasn't gotten it, as a matter of fact. Mm-hmm. His thing was, well, I'm not going to get a vaccine because it violates my rights. How can you tell me that I have to do something? You tell me that I have to put something in my body. Now,
so let me ask you this. For him, if the vaccine was out there and they just say, if you want it, you can get it, would he get it then?
I don't know. And see, that's what I
feel like some people are just like, I'm not going to get vaccinated because they're infringing on my right. And it's like,
So there's this guy that I work with. He is this red-blooded Republican. He's like, oh, that goes against my rights. I won't do it. I'm an American. I fought for this country and this and that. And I'm like, I get it. But if they tell you have to get that vaccine, what are you going to do? You going to stand by your word? He got his vaccine. And now he feels like crap. And it's like, I mean, you can't blame anyone but yourself. Like, they literally didn't force you. They didn't put a gun to your head. You had a choice. But you thought that this job was more important than your personal values.
That
sold out.
God-given right you were talking about.
Right.
Nah, so
I think that's how they're getting everybody. Because for most people that's been at a place for like so many years. And
he's been there for like 15 years.
And that's all they know. They know if they lose that job, they can't go nowhere else. And
especially.
So here's the thing.
You're right. Especially a black guy, older guy, no degree, nothing like that. Mm-hmm. That's how he feeds his family. His wife, his kids. That's all he has.
But how do you feel about that? Like if you're taking someone's livelihood away from them by saying like, hey, if you don't get a vaccine, then all this is going to be taken away from you.
So like I said, I had my vaccine, but my thing was I didn't care to get it or not. I got it for for other reasons. But my thing is, if I stood by that, I'm not going to get it. But I'm not in the same position as other people. Like. I'm not. These guys, they're paying child support. You know, a lot of them they can't work anywhere else. They don't know, like you said, they don't know anything else. You got to make yourself more valuable to other people. One guy's like, "Hey man, if they fire me, man, I'm like, what? You gonna do what? You don't know how to do anything. You can barely read, write. What are you gonna do? That's all you know.
So that's what
go get your shot, and I'll see you next week."
But that's what I'm saying though. Like, how do you feel about a company? Or anybody, for that matter, just saying, hey, if you don't get this vaccine, it's your choice to get it or not. I agree. But if you don't get this vaccine, then everything's going to be taken away from you.
I agree. I agree with the company. I mean, I'm the type of person that says, this is America. We're capitalists. If a company says, hey, I'm not going to serve certain people because, of their sexual orientation or the color of their skin, I say go for it. You're free. If you don't want to serve certain people, go for it. But there's going to be a reaction to it. Yeah. There's going to be consequences. Mm-hmm. And if you can survive, hey, more power to you.
That's just like Netflix, right? With Dave Chappelle, it's like we choose to keep him on here, and
so they're basically saying, hey, the audience that we're getting is more important than the audience that we're losing.
And the employees that they lost too.
Huh?
And the employees that they lost.
Fired them, though.
And they're like, hey, we can replace you. But this guy makes us money, and we've already invested too much in him. This is America.
It's America, baby.
I mean, it's the way the world is, whether you like it or not. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but we don't have to care about it. No one has to care. Everyone gets offended. We all go through it every day. Nobody cares.
Some people just feel that their offenses feels.
Yeah, they let it cripple them.
Everybody else's.
Yeah, they let it cripple them.
Yeah, some people get offended over it.
And it's crazy. They're like, oh, you don't know how it feels. Like, even with Dave Chappelle, Dave Chappelle is like a 50-year-old black guy. Ooh, what are you going to say? Oh, you don't know how it feels to go through a struggle. Like, what? Okay? Like, we've all gone through it. Like, we get it. So, yeah, if a company if my company told me, hey, you can't have long hair here, I don't believe in that either. It's like, with Hooters, they're not an equal employment opportunist. Like, if Hooters interviews a woman and says, hey, you're kind of fat and you're not really pretty, we're not going to hire you.
Oh, they do that.
I know, and they have every right to do it.
And then the new uniforms that they say they're making them wear, they say, hey, this is new uniform.
That's it.
Wear it. Hey.
This is how we're going to sell. If you don't want to be here, you can go work somewhere else.
They told them, if you don't like these new uniforms,
go work somewhere else. Hey. This is our bread and butter. You can't take this away from us. If men want to see that, that's what they want to see. That's their clientele. That's just the way of the world, man.
I haven't been to Hooters in a long time.
I've never been.
It's not worth it.
It's only worth it to go for the view. That's it. But then when you get
what view? The view of the girls? Mm-hmm. You don't even see anything. I mean, they all have stockings on, skin-colored stockings, flesh-colored stockings.
I'm not a horn dog, so I'm not going to go in there looking.
Yeah, and it's not. That's what it is. A lot of people go. They're older guys, and they just want to.
Yeah, that, and then like and then the people who go there thinking, oh, Hooters is the place to see some half naked girls.
Right, and they get the attention, like because you notice how the girls they act, they sit beside you and they take your order, and
they sing happy birthday to me and put their hand on my back.
I was there.
Yeah, I know you the one that told me my birthday.
Oh yeah, it wasn't even your birthday. Was
it wasn't.
I still got people trying to take me. He's like, hey, let's go to the strip club.
The food is not even good.
I said I'd rather go if I'm gonna go for the food only. But other than
That's
that, I
it.
don't want to go to a strip club.
I left home to a strip club. You weren't even there, were you?
No.
No, we was in Myrtle Beach. I mean, I didn't want to go
Oh,
because I already
yeah.
been. It's because it's like, all right,
You tell me about that.
we get it. Like, I don't need to go to a strip club anymore. Like,
Yeah, it's
just
Realistically,
buy me the hooker at that point.
Realistically, if you get on Instagram, you seen what a strip club is like.
That's
Come
it
on.
really is.
it's not worth it.
I don't need it up close in person if I just get on my phone and just open the app and it's there.
It's really like that. I mean, and I don't think people realize that.
Yeah.
I think too is like for example, if I'm like married or something, right? It's like, why do I need to go to a strip club?
Why do you need to cheat? That's what I don't understand. It's like, why do you need to cheat? Just take your phone to bed.
I know, right?
You'll save a lot of trouble and a lot of time.
Yeah, it's the world we live in is
People,
weird.
but see, this is why I always struggle. This is where you say just because people think different doesn't mean they're wrong. But that's what it's like. I feel like I think on a straight and narrow path.
So it's like this though. The thing is, sometimes things are different. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. But then the thing when you talk about right and wrong, you have to figure out what is your standard for right and wrong. What's your objective standard for right and wrong? Now, if they violate that, then they're wrong.
I have my own personal morals.
Yeah, and that's why things change. Like for me, I'm Christian, so my morals align with what I get in the Bible.
Right.
So I get my standard from there. And so I can look at the world and say, all right, I think that's wrong, this is wrong, that's right. And that's because I have a higher standard I have a higher standard that I hold myself to and I want to hold the world accountable to. But the thing is, for me, it's like, I'm a Christian, I'm living this lifestyle, and I don't do certain things or I do certain things. And if people aren't Christian and they're doing those things, I can say, hey, I don't think that's right. But if they decide they want to go that way anyway, I'm like, you're making that choice. Mm-hmm. I can't force you to see what I see or think what I think, believe what I believe. But if you're going to live that life, then you're going to suffer the consequences that come from these actions that I think are wrong. And so it's up to you in the end. I can bring you to the water, but I can't make you drink it,
Right.
So,
but they may not like the taste of your water anyway.
All right. So
yeah,
I'm glad you said that. So now I got a question for both of you, coming from two different sides. So Trell, I know that you're deep in.
Well, I'm not the devil, but I'll play devil's advocate.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's coming from a different side.
Here we go.
Trell is like deeply religious, like over everything. Okay.
I'm not religious. I'm just a Christian.
Well, saying like that.
See, that's that bullshit.
So here's the thing. It's funny. Okay, I'm gonna let you get that to that. It's funny that I get that, I understand it, and I believe in that phrase, but I feel like people do that a lot.
Oh, it's a cop out. No,
yeah. But go ahead. I got you.
So, could you see yourself with somebody that does OnlyFans though, as their way of living?
No.
As OnlyFans, you mean?
It depends on what they're doing on OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. It's not just a porn. Well,
right.
Now it's not even a porn site at all, is it?
It still is.
They still
but
it's
got the business aspect to it now as well.
Yeah, but
it's funny because it was the same thing. It was like, oh well, we have our own morals. We don't want people on here doing this. But then when people stop doing it and they stop because they're getting ad revenue off of that, so it's like, kind of need that back.
That's a weird thing about the world. It's like
you're asking the wrong question.
Okay, yeah, really.
I'm asking in a way of saying like how Trell said he don't care about certain like.
You're asking the wrong question. The question you need to be asking is if we were in charge of OnlyFans, would you let people still?
That's a good question.
Would you still let people do that?
No. See, that's the thing.
I would.
That's the
Wouldn't even
thing.
think twice about it.
Because again, it's
I
like
wouldn't want my girlfriend to do it.
it's the thing that I was talking about. I hold myself to a higher standard that I believe in.
You gotta stop saying higher standard. You should say different. Because when you say
I'm talking about higher outside of myself is what I mean.
Okay.
A standard that's outside of myself. Okay. Like if it was up to me, you can talk to a Christian. They would probably say it's like they would say. I think I heard Christian apologist say this. Frank Turret. He was like, "These are the standards that I hold myself to because these are God's standards." If you ask me, obviously I'll be living my life a different way. because every single day we feel different. Every single day we want different things. But because I hold myself to this certain standard that's objective, then I have to look at my life and say, all right now I want this thing that I don't believe is good. So I'm going to turn my back on that and hold myself to that standard that I believe in. But if there was no standard that I believed in up there, then of course every single day I'll be doing different things. My morals would change with the money, with the what I feel that morning, how my emotions are, with my depression, with how happy I am, with what relationships I have, And that's what I feel like happens in the world today. It's like Amazon. Amazon didn't care anything about Black Lives Matter until last year when they got all that money from it, right?
Because it's a business.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like that happens in people's personal lives too.
Well, then let's do this. I like this. So let's do a rapid fire. So, how do you feel about legalizing marijuana?
No problem with it.
You don't have a problem with that?
No.
What about prostitution?
I don't like prostitution for a lot of different reasons. Legalized prostitution won't make it better for the girls. Cause I know a lot about like girls who did prostitution, girls who were sex slaves, and girls who did porn.
Well, no, I said prostitution. I didn't say sex slaves.
I know, but prostitution, a lot of them, it's a form of sex slavery.
No, but I specifically asked about prostitution, like voluntarily. I'm not saying sex slaves. I'm saying, how do you feel about a woman being able to, or a man being able to sell their body for money?
Well, then that's legal everywhere. I don't think it should be legal, but it's illegal still.
I mean, it's not legal. Like if you can't be on the side of the street and sell your body. Yeah.
I mean, escorting is legal.
Escorting because of the fine print. Escorting just means your time. You're selling your time.
Pornography is legal
because pornography is only illegal to record in certain states, but it's still not the same though. They're not selling their body; they're selling the image. I'm asking about prostitution.
I hear you. But when you say prostitution,
I mean, if you go on the corner of the street and pick up a woman and she sells you sex.
All right. Now, how's that different from doing that and then pulling out a camera and recording it?
Because if I'm looking at it, if I'm paying for someone else, it's not the same as me buying her to have sex with her. It's a huge difference.
Say that one more time.
If you're comparing looking at porn to picking up a prostitute.
No, I'm comparing having sex for money to having sex for money.
No, okay. You're saying the lady who's doing it is
she gets paid to have sex. The only difference is there's a camera involved. Am I right or am I wrong about this?
You're right about that. You're right. I mean, you're right about that, but I guess that one's considered film.
The only difference I see is location. One is on the street, one is in the studio. Not to mention, we do know that there are pornos where you pick girls up off the street and do it in the car.
Yeah, but this is all acting, though.
It's acting, but where do they get those girls from? These are runaway girls.
They're actors.
These
Believe
are girls.
It or not, it's an art. It's an act. I mean, it's acting.
But listen, these girls we know, like they have casting couches. They pick these girls up because these girls like.
No, they don't really have casting couches, guys. You're so green. They don't. It's not really a casting couch. It's part of the show.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the actual videos that they make. I'm talking about
agents.
No, I'm talking about girls who come green into porn. These girls come. They don't just. Hey, let me.
Most of them don't come.
I thought we weren't going to talk about sex on this podcast.
We're in too deep.
But no, I don't agree with. See, the problem is
you have this mentality that if people don't live the way you live, then it's shame on them.
No, I don't see shame like that.
How do you feel about pornography? I mean, how do you feel about prostitution?
Are they not? Okay, never mind.
Because, I mean, we're separating them for what.
No, I get what you're saying. I was just thinking about it's funny how you confuse one for the other when I was.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying. You're right, but you see what I'm saying. But prostitution.
The legalization of it, or
yeah. Do you think it should be legal?
I mean, at this point, yeah. I mean, if you look at.
Do you have a problem with it being legal?
If a woman and man wants to sleep with 50 million dudes,
and get paid for it.
That doesn't do nothing to me.
Their body, their choice. I mean, that's the problem. All right. Now, speaking of which, how do you feel about abortion?
We already talked about that last episode.
We actually
Did we?
did that last one.
Yeah.
Did we?
You wasn't here for it.
But again,
I
prostitution
should've
though.
saved that for me.
Listen, prostitution. If it's gonna be illegal, then I can't do anything about it. If you ask me, do I want it to be illegal? Of course not. But that's because of the different things that go into
I'm saying, if you was the
prostitution.
king of the world, would you allow it?
No.
Okay, given that answer, then no, because I know what stems from that.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the
But
trauma.
if you can make profit off of it, would you?
No.
No.
I mean, that's
No.
Because
listen, this is my thing. When you talk about prostitution, you got to think about what goes into prostitution. People who are suffering, people who develop trauma from it and stuff like that, it's not like it's a pretty business to get into. And even if you make it legal, it's still not a pretty business to get into. Just like I'm talking about pornography. There are a lot of girls who get out of pornography because of the trauma that's involved and because of the abuse that's involved and stuff. And so when you talk about legalizing prostitution because you can make money off of it, that's like making money off people's trauma.
What about stripping? People make money off people's trauma all the time.
That doesn't make it right, though.
The last rap album you buy, you think this guy? What do you think this guy dropping about? It's
I haven't bought a
chocolates.
rap album in like 10
See,
years.
you're being too.
I'm joking about that, but that's him making his music
It's
to get
art.
away from the trauma. It's art. It's like you said, it's art. That's not like
That's how they deal with it. Maybe that's how the women deal with it. Maybe that's all they know. That's the only way they can cope.
so dealing with trauma by making
It sounds weird to you, but to them, it's normal.
I think
that
this is
doesn't
the part
make-
where we'll probably need a female on the podcast. To tell
yeah,
us
yeah.
what's
But
true.
and I have a friend who I wanted to be on a podcast, and she would agree with me on this because of that. Because like you're talking about, that's the way they would deal with it. That's like saying like a girl who's abused and the domestic, her boyfriend's beating on her. Her way to deal with it is to stay with him. How does that help her at all? And then you're asking me, what if you were making money off her being abused by him? Would you allow it then? No, I wouldn't. I would still get her out of the household.
You can't save all these hoes, man. you can't. You can't.
Stupid.
No, I mean, but a part of me is serious. It's like you seem like you just
I
want
mean,
to do so much good, but
No, see, that's the thing is, I
Well,
know
well,
I
if
can't.
that-
Listen, here's
well,
the
if
thing.
that's the case, then this whole thing with Dave Chappelle, then do you stand up for the LGBTQ community?
I'm standing with Dave on that.
Well, why? Well, he just made all this money from picking on all these innocent people.
He made his money from telling
Yes,
jokes.
it's innocent joke.
It's not like
Well, porno is just innocent sex.
that's what you think.
Well,
Okay,
that's what you think.
okay.
Because you can't tell people not to be offended.
I'm not telling people not to be offended. You can be offended. I get offended, but that doesn't stop me.
So-
You tell me right now. Me and you, we tell jokes, right?
Yeah.
We go at each other all the time, right?
Right.
You tell jokes that I'm not particularly fond of.
Okay.
I can get offended by it, but
Okay.
do I cry to you? Do I get mad at you? Do I fight you? Do I try to
wouldn't
cancel
care.
you?
I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care, right?
So
So
when
listen. So when you offend me with a joke, right? I don't shut down your entire life. I don't try
I
to
get it.
get you lose
No,
your
you sure
job.
don't.
I don't doing that. You know why? It's because I took offense and I have to deal with
So-
that. I have to learn how to not be so offended by that.
Right. So why can't you do the same thing when it comes to pornography? We
What do
don't
you
want you
mean?
to shut down. If you were the king, you're gonna shut it down because these women are I'm offended. These women, they're going through these traumas and stuff. So let them suck.
Figuratively or mentally?
Both. let them deal with it. That's something that you have to swallow. The both of you. At the end of the day.
He loves these puns, man.
It's I mean, I'm right. You
No,
can't
no.
do
I
it.
feel like you're using that in that sense because I bet if
My
this was
thing is
close.
just-
Listen, I think if this was closer to home, then your
Excuse me?
your tune would change.
Oh. Are you calling me a porno or a tranny? Are you calling me saying I do porn or am I a tranny?
I think you're doing both. No, but yeah. So like, the thing is like with Dave is like telling jokes and then being offended by those jokes. I can turn the TV off, right? right?
You can shut your phone off too.
I knew you were gonna say that. So that's where I was getting to. Is that when it comes to porn,
I wish I knew what you guys were talking about as far as the abortion thing, because I'm pretty sure my views would have been completely different from the rest of you.
yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So when it comes to like the porn and stuff, like you said, you can turn your phone off for that too. The thing is, what's stopping? Let's say if you're the king of the world, like you were saying, right? If you're king of the world, would you stop Dave from making those jokes?
No.
And you wouldn't stop prostitution either. You would allow it to be legal, right?
I would allow everything to be legal except for murder, rape.
What's everything? I mean,
basically, I would let the world be the way it is, except for murder. And
you would allow like embezzling and stuff like that.
If they get away with it,
Racketeering?
if that's the case, we have cops.
That
Well, if I say, well, no, there's racketeering is gone, but now we have no need for accountants or anyone that's gonna, look into that. If I say you're not allowed to murder, just like that, it's physically impossible. What do we need cops for?
Well, you saying that's different. You're playing God at that point. You're talking about making it not exist at all.
So I'm not God. I'm the king. So if I
king is putting in
putting
place
rules.
a law so
Okay.
that people can't do this thing. But
Take a
if
stance as a person.
but also
yeah,
enforcing
also
also enforcing the
president.
consequences.
If I was president, everything would be the way it is. This is much as you can make it.
You mean
We're
like
just
current
ants
laws
inside
right
of it.
now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sure there's small things that could be changed, but that's just, Republican, Democrat, we're all going to have our different feels about that. But other than that, what would you change?
I'd pretty much leave it.
Gambling.
Kind of
Would you
No, I'm like you're saying. You're asking me about
Okay, so
prostitution.
you would how is that any different from gambling though? People have addictions
What do you
and
mean?
problems. They gamble away their houses and everything. And you would still
Prostitution is the same as gambling?
Yeah, is it not? So you're saying a person who has a gambling addiction is no worse than someone who's prostituting?
I'm trying to figure out how these two line up.
If a person, so you're saying it's okay for someone to go out and gamble, but it's not okay for someone to go pick up a hooker.
No, I'm saying it's okay for someone to go out there and spend money that they have, and not okay for a girl to go out down the street, feel the need to sell her body because she doesn't have any other thing to do.
But what if it's an escort business and if it's profitable?
That's, like you said, that's in the fine print. That's legal.
Okay, well then let's use escort. So you're okay with escort service?
I'm not okay with it, but I can't make it illegal because escorts, they have a business. It's not like they're out there just selling their body because they're down and out and broke.
Casinos in these games that target people who are down on their luck?
They take that into their own hands when they go and do that.
Well,
just like
isn't
escorts.
prostitution not the same thing?
No, see, that's what I'm saying. So like prostitution. When we're talking about prostitution, we're talking about the women who are out there on the street because they're struggling, don't have anything to do. The only way they can make money is take care of
Have you ever been to Vegas? You've seen the people who's on the side of the street who don't have any money and they're just looking for
It's
a dollar
legal
so they can
there.
go play the machine and hope to get lucky. The same thing with people who go and buy scratch-offs. They're down on their luck. That is their saving grace. That is their last thing their last line of defense. They need to hit the lottery. I've seen it. Like everyone in my family, like I know my aunt, she's been playing the lottery every day. And it's like, lady, if you just get a job and you just save your money, you would have made all the money that you're trying to hit on the lottery. And if you hit the lottery, you've been so bad with your money your whole life. What are you going to do with the money? You wouldn't even know.
So you're saying the people who are gambling are down on their luck.
What do you think God is doing right now when he looks over at everybody on earth? What do you think he says? Do you think he's saying, I need to fix this and fix that and fix that?
No.
He's saying, you all have a mind of your own. Do what you're going to do. Regulate it as you will.
Yeah, he puts his law in place, and if you
Commandments.
if you don't abide by them, then you have an ultimate consequence.
Well, what about the president? You think the president thinks he can fix every problem?
No, and I don't think you should put it on him to fix every problem either. That's why I said, like, these are laws you put in place. You're asking me if I should allow it to be illegal. I'm saying no, but that's not saying make it. happen, like change it. I
But-
can't say that I can change it.
In this world,
It's just like Caden, right? I can raise him until he's 18 years old and
Mm-hmm.
say, these are things I want you to do, these are things I don't want you to do with your life. But when he leaves my house, that's ultimately up to him.
right. So, but what you're doing is like saying, oh, after you turn 18, I still want to have control over what you do.
No, I'm not. I'm saying, hey, Caden, these are the rules that I have in place for you. I hope you would keep to these rules. But when you get out of my household, then you ultimately do what you
So
want to
if
do. It's
Kaden
just
wants
like
to go
this.
out and be a
If-
prostitute, what are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say, Caden, you shouldn't be a prostitute, but I can't make him not be a prostitute.
Well, there's a difference between making it illegal and then making it a suggestion that you can't do it.
Yeah, because you can't make something illegal in an adult's life that when they're
Well,
out
that's,
of
well, that's my point.
when you're
like,
not in position to do that.
like prostitution is illegal.
Yeah.
You can't do it. But should they be allowed? Should they be given the option to be able to? That free will. Should they be allowed to do it?
They already do. They already have that.
That's not the point. But they're breaking the law when they do it. I'm
No,
saying. Should
yeah,
it
you
be
just
against
ask-
the law?
Yes. You just.
I'm saying, should it be against the law? Do you believe it should be against
I
the
just
law?
said yes.
So if Caden says, I want to go be a prostitute, then you're not saying, I don't think it's a good idea. You're saying, you can't do that.
As
It's illegal.
as
You
a
can't do it.
like as a president of the United States.
As his father.
As his father, I can't do that. I'm like I said,
As a
you have to
president,
be in a position of
But
you have
that's
to be
what I'm
in,
trying to compare. It's like, it doesn't matter what your position is. If you say, hey, this is illegal, you can't do it.
It does, because as a parent, what can I do if Caden is prostituting?
Okay, so as a president, you're saying,
As a president,
you
if he
can't go
gets
against
caught, then he can go to jail,
right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully, what I would do as a president is have some steps in place to get him on his feet, so he doesn't have to do it. But as a parent, I can't make him go to jail for doing. I mean, I can probably call the police or something like that, but I can't make him as a parent go to jail for prostituting. I can only talk to him and see whatever I can do to help him not do that anymore, or not, feel the need to do that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like those are two different roles. I'm a parent and president are two different roles, so they have two different things that they can and can't do.
I mean, I get it. I understand what you're saying, but I don't think you really understand what I'm saying. It's like,
Try to explain it to me.
because what I'm saying is everyone should have free will.
And I'm saying they do.
They don't, because if you say something is illegal and
Cairo,
you can't
we
do
just
it,
talked about God, right? God has 10 commandments, right?
Mhm.
He put those in place and say, follow these, right?
Mhm.
But we have free will, right? Do we follow those every day?
I'm saying without consequence.
Then that's not the same thing.
Or there should be
That's-
natural consequence.
That's not free. What you're saying is like, should we allow people to do whatever they want to do? Or should we do what I'm saying is like put rules in place and say, all right, these are the rules. You can do whatever you want to do, but understand that there are consequences. And you're saying we should not have those consequences coming from
No,
us?
I'm saying you should. There should be natural consequences.
What kind of natural consequences?
Like we were saying, if you don't want to serve a certain person in your business, that's fine. But if they start to boycott your business and you go out of business, then that's a natural consequence.
All right. So now, what's the natural consequence of prostitution?
I mean, everything that comes with it. Eventually you'll get used and abused, and you'll lose your way in life, and you'll outgrow the business, and you won't be. Your product isn't profitable anymore.
Okay. And you're saying the natural consequence of gambling is like losing your house and losing your family and all that
losing
stuff,
your money,
right?
Your way of life, and being out on the street.
Okay.
But
And
I feel like people should have that free will to do that if they want. You can't regulate their life.
right. And
Literally, I mean, by saying if you do it, even if you win, you're going to jail. If you embezzle money, even if it's profitable, you're going to jail. But I believe that now in that case,
I understand what you're saying. when
now
you say that.
embezzlement and cheating the system like that, I believe that should be illegal, because in that case you're hurting other people. You're stealing from other people.
Yeah.
Like, you can't rob a bank. It's not like when you play sports, you can pull somebody or you can push somebody. If the ref doesn't see it, then it's it's legit. But if you're cheating, like legitimate, like cheating, and you don't get caught, then you still cheated.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying when you talk about the natural consequences when it comes to prostitution and gambling, because prostitution, the girl is hurting herself, and
That's it.
right, and in gambling, the person's hurting themselves and
Even
possibly
having
their family.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah, like you can hurt your family by gambling, especially if you're the breadwinner. But excuse me. So I see what you're saying there, and I just feel like, and you might be right about that. But
and then
I think that if
think,
you do that though, for me, helping someone else, not even hurting themselves, is
okay. But
something worth
there's
doing
another
too.
dynamic to it. So as far as gambling, you're only looking at the people who are being hurt by it. But what about people who are good at it and they're making profit off it, or the casinos who are making profit off it, or even like FanDuel and stuff like that? Now you're saying nobody can do it just because some idiot has a problem and he's losing all of his money.
I don't have a problem with that. I mean,
I'm not talking about you. I'm saying because the person that is losing their money, he messes it up for everybody.
Right. So that circumstance that you're talking about, I don't necessarily have a problem with that because those people can make money in other ways.
Right.
If making
so in prostitution, there's a pimp, or there's a pimp, but there's also the people who's producing the videos for porn. I mean, those are legitimate studios. You got, it's just it's all its own economy at some point, and if you cut it off, then it's like those people don't have a way. Even the drug dealers, like if they make marijuana legal. Now the drug dealers on the street, they're kind of out of luck now. Yeah. Now they have to compete with big businesses.
But then that's what I'm saying. Is like when it comes to stuff like that, then those people have to learn how to adapt, right? Like if we make marijuana legal,
the actual consequences,
which is learning to adapt, right? If you make marijuana illegal, right? If you make marijuana legal in the United States, all across the board. Every single drug dealer that sells weed for a living will have to learn how to adapt. They probably gonna have to start working at the marijuana store.
You're right.
And that I don't see that being bad.
They're gonna have to cut their costs.
I don't see that. I don't see that being a bad consequence.
It isn't. No.
But what I do see being a bad consequence is, and I agree with you with the whole gambling thing. It's like a guy losing his home and his wife and kids don't have a place to stay, and she ends up divorcing him, leaving him to go, stay with her parents because they just lost him home because he just gambled it away or whatever. Or prostitution, getting used and abused. I care about that person.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's like they should have the free will to make that mistake. You don't have enough time in your life to try and worry about other people's lives.
Yeah, you do. I do it all the time. That's the reason you're here right now. Am I right or am I wrong?
I mean, I guess you're right.
I mean,
but when do you have time for yourself?
I have time for myself right now too. I mean, I'm a single parent. I raise a son. I have time to care about his life and care about mine. I pay rent in this house because I care about mine and I care about my son's life and I care about my roommate's life, right? I made this podcast so me, you, Isaac, and Nathan can hopefully have something grow to where we can quit our jobs. That's caring about my life and care about your life. The two things aren't mutually exclusive. I can't like that. If I go to buy a pizza right now, I don't go buy that pizza just for me and then come home. It's like, man, I'm sorry, I couldn't buy pizza for y'all too. You know what I mean? Like, I can live a life caring about other people and caring about myself as well. I can take care of myself. Now, the problem comes...
On the way home, when you're bringing that pizza, how many people are you passing in the street who haven't eaten for days? Do you stop and give each one of them a slice? By the time you get home, there's going to be no pizza left for your family.
It depends what happens. Because, like, for example, I used to do this thing where I go to Dollar Tree, pack up a bag full of stuff, and drop off whenever I see somebody homeless. That didn't stop me from living my life or caring about me and my son, did it?
That's mighty Christian of you.
I mean, that's just loving your neighbor. I mean, that's simple as that.
I literally don't know my neighbors. Wouldn't know if
I actually want to get to know my neighbor across the street. Yesterday we got here, he was bumping some rap music. I was like, I didn't know he was like that. I want to go over there and introduce myself.
I mean, maybe it's funny.
It's just like last episode when you were here. I said, Cairo, I feel like you're selfish a lot. And what you're saying right now...
There's nothing wrong with caring about yourself.
There's nothing wrong with caring about yourself.
Before everyone else.
No, the thing is, when you're talking about selfish is not just caring about yourself or caring about yourself before anyone else. It's about caring about yourself and forget what everybody else has going on. I can care about myself, right? Like I say, if I'm buying that pizza, I can care about myself and think about eating that pizza when I get home, but also look at everybody else in this household who hasn't eaten yet. And that's why I would ask, hey, are y'all hungry? Hey, do y'all want some pizza? Hey, what kind of pizza you want? Even if I have to take a sacrifice and you don't like pepperoni or you're allergic to pork or you're a Muslim and don't want to eat pork or something and you say, I only use cheese. I hate cheese pizza. But I'll get that because we both get to eat pizza. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I do. I get what you're saying.
Now, the difference is this. If I say, all right, this person needs a place to stay and they can live with me, but if they live with me, then I know that they're going to bring all these other people who are trying to kill them to my front door, and my son lives right there. My son is room is literally right by the front door. Mm. That's the first room they get to. That's a different story, because at that point, I have to take into account that bringing this person into my home when they're not planning on making a change in their lifestyle is going to put me, my roommate, and my son, and whoever else that comes to my house in jeopardy every single day. Now I have to think about those neighbors and myself. This one person, I can still help them from a distance, but I don't have to bring them into my household. But the way that you're talking is like, I don't even want to associate with this person at all because I don't want to have to deal with it. And so for me, it's like, if I see a homeless person on the side of the street, I'm not going to bring them to my house and have them living with me and like shower them up and get them a job and stuff. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing to do, but I can't fiscally, I can't emotionally and all that stuff do that right now, especially being a single parent. And I have a job, like 3 or 4 jobs I got to do too, right? But what I can do is make up these bags, give them some food, give them pencil and paper, give them different options for
pencil and paper for a homeless person.
Yeah.
To write what?
See, that's what I'm saying. You don't look into this. You go talk to a homeless person. They can use pencil and paper to write down phone numbers because they have to go ask to borrow somebody's phone when they need to call someone. They can write down addresses. They can write down different places they want to go get help at. Like you go to a homeless shelter, some of them can only take homeless people in during the wintertime. So when they're there for the wintertime, they have a place to stay, but then it starts to get warm outside. They got to go back out on the streets. And they need different things to live right out on the streets. So in the bag, I put in a can opener. You know how many times homeless people find cans and they got to find a way to get it open?
I feel like you just are just putting shanks in prisoners' hands. Like,
anyway,
they're gonna write down a list of all the people they're gonna kill with that can opener with the pistol and paper.
Just go around the net with the can opener. Wait, you got snagged on something. No, but you see what I'm saying? Like, I take the time to figure out who this person is and what they need, and then see if I'm capable of helping. If I can't help them, then I can't help them.
That's why we can never get in contact with you, because you're always.
No, that's not true. You can't get in contact with me because y'all choose not getting. If you call me or text me or something, then I'll call you or text you back when I get a chance to. But think about it this way: how many times have I been to y'all's house in like the last, let's just say, 3 years?
I mean, 3 years. I mean, a good amount.
How many times have y'all been to my house?
Twice. I don't think Ri'Yadh's ever been here.
Never. You see what I'm saying? I take that time to go see y'all, but how often do y'all come see me?
See that look on his face?
That's that thing I'm talking about. I never
thought
I can care about myself and still come see y'all and spend time with y'all. But how often do y'all care about yourself? And then even well, it's not. I mean, that's the way it is. It's not gonna kill me if y'all come over here or don't come over here. But even the fact that, like, if we decide to do something, think about this. Ri'Yadh will say, "Hey, let's go see a movie." Cool. I'll start looking at movies. What movie theater do we always go to?
The one close to us.
And how many times do I have to say, "All right, well, I can't make it because that's too far, and by the time I get back home, it'll be past Kate and bedtime," or whatever the case may be.
Now, Ri'Yadh is definitely selfish, but he's a narcissist.
Same thing.
I understand. That's why whenever we play basketball, I try to say, "Hey, instead of you coming all the way over the Park Road."
Well, that just started recently. This has been happening for years, though.
Well, I know, but I didn't notice it.
I tell you all the time, like, it's like a 40. Y'all say let's go play basketball when we get off work. It's like 4 or 5 o'clock. I'm like, listen, 4 or 5 o'clock. It's gonna take me like 4 or 5 minutes to get there, and then by the time I get there, it's gonna be almost dark, and then we're gonna play for a little bit. Then I gotta travel 45 minutes back home.
That's why I try to make my way out here.
Yeah. So there's a difference though. Is that I think about that stuff before you even have to say that. Before you even have to say, well, I can't do this. That's why I ask, for example, on the podcast, I say, hey, what days are y'all available? What times are y'all available? Right? That's why we didn't do the podcast for so many different weeks. Is because I have to get everybody on the same page.
And that's why I tried to make it my number one priority to get out here. I wasn't going to cancel because I know how you put everything together. You have such a small window. Because,
yeah, again, it's like I understand what I need, not necessarily all the things I want. Like if it was everything that I want, then a lot of things would be different. But I understand what I need to get to the next day or to get to the next step. And I just need to figure out what everybody else needs too. So I can care about myself and care about other people. The problem comes is when I start to care about myself and what I want and forget about what I need. Because if I get everything that I want, then we probably wouldn't have a podcast right now. I would probably be doing this on my own or something like that. Because I understand that we can't do this every single week because people have different schedules and stuff like that. Or we can't do it at the same time every single week. And
by the way, I'm always good. Like this time, 11 o'clock on Saturday, perfect. I'm not doing anything else. I'm up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Friday nights, I'm tired after work.
I really do want to get Ri'Yadh here. I want to get everybody here on the day.
I would have picked up Ri'Yadh. If I had known that we was gonna start late, I could have got over there and got Ri'Yadh ready. I don't know why he was tired, to be honest, because he's on a regular schedule. He's working. So.
Yeah.
And he went to sleep last night. So.
I don't mind. I just want him. That's another thing. That's the thing with Ri'Yadh too, is that I want to get this going to consistently, so that we know that we have something, right? Like, because literally tomorrow this could all go away because we may not be dedicated to it, right? But I want it to be consistent to the point where it's like,
if one person's gone, you can have the next person.
Yeah, not only that, but also like it's just here, like it's in your head mentally. Oh, Saturday morning I'm doing this. Like you wake, what your work schedule is, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to be like I know every Monday at 7 o'clock I go to Bible study. I know that in my head. Anytime you say, hey, what you doing Monday? I was like, well, I got Bible study Monday. That's already there. I want it to be like that for us. And when we get it to that point, I know I can get Ri'Yadh in it. Because Ri'Yadh right now, I know if I say, hey, let's do the podcast on this day or that time or whatever, he's going to be like, all right, I'll see. And then I'll be waiting for him. And then he'll wake up like 5 hours later. Oh, you should have called me. Ri'Yadh did call you. That's what he does. So I wanted this to be like a thing where we can keep rolling to where me and him, when we do our podcast, I know that he'll be there because it will be this thing that he knows is like.
You know who would be really good on here?
Who?
Denzel.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. No, I'm saying, Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, Denzel would be chef kiss. I mean, just thinking about it.
That's another thing I want to do.
We would have a lot of the same opinions, probably.
Well, I
think it'd be good, me and Ri'Yadh and you and Nate, because you guys seem to side on, have the same opinions.
No, Nate is different sometimes. Me and Isaac have a different. Sometimes. Me and Isaac have the same view a lot, but we're different. I think we're different on the vaccine stuff.
But it's good to have different perspectives. Like you said, it would be good to have a female on.
That's what I wanted.
Isaac's a white guy, so it's like he does. It's certain things that he may not be able to relate to, but there's also certain things that he can bring light to that we wouldn't even look at.
Yeah.
Ri'Yadh, believe it or not, I mean, just the fact that he's so different and extreme. Like, the only reason you and I have a good back and forth is because we're complete opposites. But we agree on a lot of things, too, though. So, the things that we agree on are normally surprising to me.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, it is. Do you remember that talk we had, that text we had when we were talking about investments and stuff, stock market? When you were, like, telling me how to do something, or you were telling me, like, hey, you should jump into this and, like, spend some money here or whatever. And I was like, Cairo, how do you know this? Do you remember what your reply was?
Was it something like, I'm smart, or you don't think I'm smart?
Yeah,
Like that?
yeah. Because it was funny. Because I knew immediately. I knew your brain was like, it's gonna be a fight. Because you were like, Contrell, I know you think I'm stupid, but listen to me. I know about this stuff. Just because you think I'm stupid doesn't mean I'm stupid about everything. Right. And I was like, Cairo, shut up. I'm asking a genuine question. How do you know? I want to know because I want to learn. And then you're like, oh.
I had to put my guard down. Here we go. Where's
you
my knife?
You was ready to fight, boy. That was funny though. I remember like thinking that like just because we have these arguments going back and forth.
It's not really arguments. It's just, I mean, we disagree with things.
We do, but I think sometimes too you poke the bear.
I do. Sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, but it's not poking the bear. I play devil's advocate because I genuinely want to know how your brain works, and I do that with anyone. Where people get so defensive and they can't explain themselves, and then it's like, what's the purpose of even having this debate if you don't even stand by what you believe in? And that's my whole thing with the vaccine. Like when I was talking to Wash, it's like you're doing all of this, but what are you standing on? You have no ground to stand on because as soon as something happens, you're gonna flip, and then you're like a cow. And I mean, it's there's a loss of respect there. Now I will say the guy who
on his part or your part?
On my part, because it's like,
what respect?
Because it's like, well, you saying I'm not getting this vaccine. I have my reasons. It's my personal reasons.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like, all right, well, because me personally, if you don't want to get the vaccine, hey man, more power to you. I respect that, but stand by your word.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling you about me. It's like that's how I am,
and I believe you. I don't second guess you at all. I just when I was asking you, I just want to know what your reason was.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Explain it to me.
It wasn't any like, oh, I'm Republican and I
these
take
guys
away my rights. And that's what I'm saying. Like those people who say that, it's like,
and it's cool. Then it's
how
like,
does that make sense?
You don't believe in it, but you have a business, and now all of a sudden you're gonna exercise the mask mandate. I mean, you're punking out.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys went and got their shots. Now they walking around. Man, I'm shut up. No, I ain't want to hear anything you gotta say anymore. Not you big and bad. Go put a Band-Aid on your arm. I just don't get it. So
now you got a little Ninja Turtles Band-Aid on
your arm. And it's like I lost so much respect, and it's crazy because the guy that didn't get it. It's not to say I didn't respect him, but he was the type of guy that I thought
he kept to his guns.
No, he was the guy I thought was gonna punk out immediately. Mm-hmm. But that man was looking for other jobs and he was ready to go. And I was like, so you're really serious about this? And if you leave this job over that, you probably, and he's like, yeah, I know you probably think I'm stupid. And I was like, you have no idea. Like, I respect you more than anyone here now because you stood by your guns. You're more important than anything else on this earth, and especially a job. But these other guys, they act all big and bad. But at the end of the day, you're going to do this for what, $15 an hour? Like,
that's how I feel about. I mean, like, I feel that way when, like, you hear about the Joe Rogan thing with him taking ivermectin when he got COVID.
No.
So he was
I think so. I think you sent me like a TikTok or something. When he was like, whose body are we in? It was like the vaccine. It was like, yes, we've infiltrated another body. Whose body is this? And then the secretary is like, a Rogan? Joseph? The guy, the vaccine was like, what'd you say? Whose body is this? He was like, all right, everybody get out of here.
No, that wasn't me. I didn't send that to you. That's funny though. Yeah. Let's take a break real quick. Yeah, so what happened with Joe? So what you just said reminded me of this because Joe Rogan got COVID a little while ago, and then he got online telling people about he had it and how he felt and stuff, and like he might not be able to do the show or whatever, and he just gave a list of different things that the doctor gave him. He was like, the doctor prescribed me ivermectin, he put me on monoclonal, I think that's how you say it, whatever it is, and just all this other stuff he was saying. And he was like, so far I'm feeling good, guys, so hopefully we'll be back to it soon, blah, 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 right? He had COVID for like 3 days and got over it really fast and relatively minor symptoms, right? Mm. And he felt good. And then CNN was like, Joe Rogan is telling you to take horse dewormer to get over COVID. I can't believe why would he tell people to take horse dewormer? Joe Rogan is taking horse dewormer, blah, blah, blah. And that's ivermectin. So that is a medicine that was prescribed by his doctor, right? and it's used for human beings. But of course, there's like a different. I don't know if it's different. I think it's like more or something of it where they use it for horses. It's a like an anti-parasitic kind of thing, and they use that for horses. And he's like, why would they say I'm using a horse? Why are they saying that I use this stuff when that's not true? And I don't even know if that's the thing that got me better. I didn't say people should go out and buy horse dewormer off the shelf and shove it in their body. And so he had Sanjay Gupta from CNN on his show recently. I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know about that. But this is the thing that I was thinking about just now, what you were saying, is that Sanjay came on his show, Joe Rogan's show. He's a medical expert, I guess, or a doctor or something like that. And Joe was talking to him about, like, why would you be with this, like, why are you supporting this company, your company who is telling lies about me and blah, 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 right? And the thing for me is, like, people will put their all into a company and stand behind them even if they don't believe in that thing themselves. And, like, it's like your allegiance should not be with that company, you know what I'm saying? And so what I'm talking about is, like, when you talk about these guys who went out and got the COVID vaccine, as soon as they learn they can lose a job, it's like, why would you fight it in the first place?
Right.
So your allegiance was to me and my rights and blah, 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 blah. But as soon as they say you might lose your job, then that show your allegiance was to the job.
Right.
So, like, if your allegiance is really to your rights and stuff, you would have, like, the other guy would have went out and looked for another job. Just like Sanjay and CNN. It's like, listen, I know Joe Rogan isn't saying people should take horse dewormer. I know Joe Rogan isn't doing this. Why are y'all saying this? And if y'all want to, like, cancel me or fire me or something, so be it. But I'm going to stand up and tell the truth about it. But, no, that's not what he did. He has to try to defend his people because that's where he works, and he knows that this is his livelihood and he can't lose this, so he has to go with that lie.
And the crazy thing is, the people who took the shot for their job, it's like, do y'all not realize, like, just yesterday they were gonna fire you for not taking the shot? So that's how important you are to them, that if you don't have a vaccine, they will fire you and hire somebody who does. But you're gonna show your allegiance to the job by compromising your body, not even compromising your body, but
I mean, in their mind, compromising their body and compromising their rights.
Your own morals and rights. I mean, if that's the case, just shut up about it.
Yeah, I mean,
so I won't see. I can't say anything about Washington. He never gave any reasoning. He just never did it. So I can't say anything to him. But there was guys who were just adamant about it. Like, I'm not getting this shot. These are my rights. I fought for this country, and it's like, I respect that. But stand by it.
Yeah.
I ended up getting the shot, not because of my job though. I just got tired of being bigger.
Me too. My mom and granddad.
I was gonna say that.
They were
his dad.
Yep.
Every time he came in, you
Oh,
he's
and then at the end of the day, it's like I have no reason to not get it. So it's like I literally was en route and I went to CVS. I was servicing them, and I was like, "How long does it take for me to get my shot? And can I?"
It was an easy thing to do, right?
They was like, "You can get it right now, and you can go about your day."
My dad told me this. I didn't know it because I didn't plan on getting it, but I didn't know that it was even free. That's how little
they
I
didn't
knew
even
about,
check my insurance.
About.
No,
they didn't even check my ID.
That's the part about it. When I went, they asked me for insurance card and my ID, and then I gave it to lady both.
Cairo,
Gave him a shot.
they didn't check your insurance or your ID?
They didn't check my ID. She asked me for my name. I didn't have an appointment or anything.
You sure you got a vaccine? You probably got a good little dose of crack.
They wrote it down and everything, and I finished my route.
They gave him a shot of water and said, let's see what happens.
My man shot you with some hair. He shot you with some hair and then gave you a card that said vaccine.
I don't know. My hair started changing colors the next day.
Which one did you get?
Huh?
Which one did you get?
Jackson.
Moderna?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was recent. This was June and July.
He got that Jackson and Jackson, you know, the one on the corner
Jackson,
street.
Make you grow a Jerry curl.
Make you want to slap your mom.
Like, yeah, man, I said J&J. All right, we'll see.
I really wanted the J&J because it was just one shot, one time only. Then that's when all the side effects. I'll wait.
Listen.
Did you feel any side effects?
The only thing I had was the arm thing, but that was it.
Your arm hurt?
Yeah, that was only like 2 days and that was it.
That's how it was with me the first time. The second time, I was actually fatigued.
I could
the next day.
Yeah, that's what happened to Michael, my roommate. He got it the first time. He's like, it just sore. It don't do anything. But that second one, it took him out for like a day or two.
I mean, I didn't feel bad or anything. I was just tired. Like, I felt like I could have slept 24 hours that day.
That's the thing. The first time I had it, like I said, no side effect. One thing is I couldn't lift my arm. And that was my fault because that day I think I came here after it.
Well, mine wasn't bad because I was working.
I had my arm down, so I never had like moved it.
Oh, yeah.
Stationary way. So then the next day,
See, mine didn't hurt until I went to sleep, and then I woke up and it was sore. I rolled over and I was like, "Oh, that is right."
That was with me.
But I was working the whole day,
Yeah,
so.
that was me the next day because I sleep like this. The next I know when I went down and I came back up, that was what happened. But then the second shot, however, it was like shot hurt like the same day, but then the next days I was fine. I'm like, everybody said it's supposed to be worse the second time. I feel like it was worse the first time.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad at all. Don't get me wrong. I didn't feel bad. I was just sleepy. I was tired.
My main thing was like like they asked you like, well, did you have this in the past 7 days? I was like, ma'am, how do you know I'm lactose intolerant? I could have took a dump like yesterday, and you asked me, did I take a bath?
They asked you all that?
Yeah, like you didn't have.
Cairo, I'm telling you, that Jackson you got.
They didn't ask me anything.
I had to answer like a list of questions before I even know like.
This man went to the China store.
Okay,
the street
you're right.
and
I
got
did
his
fill
shot.
out some paperwork. I did fill out the paperwork.
Oh, you just not remembering that?
Like one of the girls.
You
like,
sure you filled out paperwork?
I don't remember.
It was like it'll ask you like, are you allergic to such and such, and then you be like, no. They're like, what happened in the past 7
What did
days?
she ask you? Would you allergic to what?
It was like some type of medicines or something like that, and I was like, no, I don't have any like those type of allergies. She's like, well, have you had sore throat, stuffy nose?
She did. She asked me if I had allergies. I remember
like
that.
diarrhea or anything in the past couple.
Do y'all have allergies?
I was like, nah.
Do I get allergies?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Like I had them real bad at the beginning of the week, but I take Claritin and then I'm good for a week.
You take a lot of medicine too.
I don't have allergies, but I swear my.
I don't. I take my prescription medicine. I mean, if I have a headache, I'm gonna take a Tylenol.
Yeah, but I remember like I would see you like 3 times a week, and every time I see you, you're just like, I need to take a Tylenol. Remember that time you were taking sleeping pills just to go to sleep?
No, that wasn't me. That's Ri'Yadh. I never take sleeping pills.
Nah, you were taking
No,
sleeping
I
pills.
never take sleeping
Yeah,
pills.
it's the reason why I make that joke about you is because you were taking sleeping pills all the time.
Nah, I think you have me because Ri'Yadh worries me because he takes sleeping pills to sleep.
Yeah, I know he does now. But I mean,
I probably asked him for one, but I don't. Sleeping pills, if I take one, it makes me drowsy, and I don't have a problem sleeping. Like if I take the only reason I would take a sleeping pill is if I can't think of a reason.
I didn't know sleeping pills were supposed to make you drowsy.
Yeah, no. If you take a sleeping pill, they'll make you drowsy the next day.
No.
Like you don't.
You mean after you sleep?
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah,
like,
it make
like
you
don't
groggy.
just wake
It
up.
make you groggy. Yeah, it's just like I used to take ZQL, and that junk make you sleep hard, and you wake up. It's hard to get
I
up
think
out
that's
of
the only
bed.
thing I've ever taken.
So like nothing like melatonin or nothing like that.
That's what's in ZQL though, right? Just a high dose of melatonin.
I don't know.
I think that's all it is, just melatonin. But other than that, no.
Yeah, that ZQL was some junk though, man. That
Yeah, see,
junk
my
was
thing is I can't take that. I would have no reason to. If I take it at night at 8 o'clock, if I wake up at 10 o'clock the next day, I'm still gonna be groggy the whole day. It's gonna ruin my whole day.
that ZQL will put you out, boy.
Yeah, if I take Benadryl, it'll put me out.
See, I don't like taking medicine that much.
See, that's what you mean. Like if I have allergies, I'm gonna take a Benadryl. If I have a headache, I'm gonna take a Tylenol. If my stomach hurts, I'm gonna take Tylenol.
Yeah, and that's the difference with me. Like I wouldn't take anything for any. I mean, obviously, like if I have an allergic reaction or something, that's different. But like, if it's something that I feel like my body can take care of and I can just sleep it away or something, I don't.
Right. See, I'm not like
headache
that.
or something like that. I don't take medicine for that.
Yeah,
Like
and I've noticed as I've gotten older that a lot of people are like that, and that I'm actually the anomaly. Well, I'm in the minority.
Yeah, you should do it like real quick. You be like, I think I'm getting a headache, and then you just pop a Tylenol.
Yeah.
It's like, Cairo,
I'm still
let
like
that
that.
junk go. Like, let it live a little bit.
Well, now that I've gotten a little older,
another thing
like, I
too
know
is that now
caffeine.
you know why you're getting headaches
Right,
too.
and that helps a lot too. Like it's funny, I was just talking to Ri'Yadh last night, and I remember I went to the emergency room when twice I was in Virginia and my throat locked up. I was having allergies real bad, and I've never felt that before. My throat locked up and it was getting worse. I couldn't chew my food, and I was having a hard time breathing. So I went to the emergency room. Like an ambulance came and picked me up, and I couldn't breathe. And it was like, well, you're experiencing allergies, but I think a lot of it is just anxiety too, because you don't know what's going on, and it feels a lot worse than what it is. So they put me on a steroid and stuff, and they prescribed me like Zyrtec over the counter, like
Yeah.
But then it was like, if you ever feel this way, just take an allergy medicine. Like you're feeling a disconnect between your ear and your jaw because it's like you're getting leakage and it's getting in your throat and then it's making your throat swell up. So it happened. It's funny. It happened Monday, and I was experiencing it. And I was like, all right, I'm not panicking because I know what's wrong and I know what I have to do. So I took a Tylenol for muscle relaxer, and then I took Zyrtec, and I was fine.
You know what else I think? I used to think. I'm sorry, not used to think. Another thing I think about you, but it happens all the time, and I used to think about it all the time, is that like you always talk about different ailments that you had and stuff.
Well,
Like
I'm neurotic though.
Yeah, I know. So this is what I'm saying is like I feel like you always talking about your stomach this and your head that and this and that, your back that. I'm like, Cairo, you're taking so much medicine all the time. You're not even giving your body a chance to learn how to fight this stuff off.
That's true, but I don't just talk. I mean, I go to the doctor too. I go to the doctor twice a year.
Yeah, and
I get checked. I'm the type of person that if I feel bad, I'm gonna do therapy. I'm gonna talk to somebody.
I hear you. So here's the thing though, like going to the doctor, I get it, and I approve. Go to the doctor, do what you gotta do, because you never know what could be wrong with you. But also you gotta remember too, a doctor's job is to see a bunch of different patients every single day, and you come in there with something that say, "Oh, my stomach hurt." They're just gonna prescribe you something real quick. You say, "My head hurt." They're just gonna prescribe you something really quick, and then you're gonna be out the door. So you have a stomach thing going on tomorrow. You decide to go to the doctor. You go to them. They're gonna say, "All right, boom, this should make you feel better. You take this for 2 weeks or whatever. You get out the door." Guess what? 5 months later, you have a stomach thing. You come to them. They're gonna do the same thing, and then you're just gonna be not giving your body a chance to figure out what's going on. You're just going to be pumping yourself with different drugs and trying to get rid of it. And then what's going to happen is next time that thing come back, it's going to be stronger. It's going to be harder to get rid of. And not saying that's a case for every single person, but that does happen when you don't give your body a chance to, your immune system a chance to, adapt. Really quick, can we talk about Stephen A. Smith?
Yeah, man, we gotta wrap it up because I got.
Have you been watching his show, First Take?
I normally catch it on my break.
You do?
Yeah.
You still do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching First Take. Yeah.
I don't watch it anymore. I just can't.
I only watch it because I'm at work and when they have it on ESPN. So
yeah,
I actually watch it every day.
I have been watching Max Key and Jay Will though. Who? Max Key and Jay Will.
I haven't watched that.
You know Max Kellerman, right?
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah,
so Stephen A. Smith has been having like a variety of people. I know Fridays he has Tim Tebow on. Yeah. And then he has Michael Irvin on Wednesdays, I believe. And then is it Kendrick Perkins?
I don't know. I literally haven't touched that show since Max was gone.
Do you like Max like that?
It's not even that I like him. I didn't know this. I will watch the show with them on there because they talk about sports, right? I want to hear about sports and stuff. But then Max went over there to Jay Will and them, and I just found myself listening to their stuff more. And I think I realized...
When you say Jay Will, you're talking about Jason Williams?
Jason Williams.
OG Jason Williams?
No, yeah, Jason Williams. And, dang, what's his name? Key. I know I just say Key, but I can't even think of his name right now.
Keenan Johnson?
Yeah. Keenan Johnson. But I just found myself watching him more. And whenever I do hear... Keyshawn, yeah, that's what it's, Keyshawn. And I would catch myself listening to something Stephen A. Smith says, and I'm just like... I realized I will watch Max... I'll watch First Take when Max was on there because Max gave some pretty good information. He would talk about different things. Sometimes he would go way left field and give a take that was crazy. Like when he was saying Giannis was the best basketball player in the league, or
crazy.
Kawhi Leonard was the best basketball player today. Stuff like that. He would say, and it's obvious because he's I gotta get my my crazy take out there. But I realized Stephen A. Smith is only good for entertainment, banter.
Pretty much.
And so when I'm trying to listen about some sports, I'm trying to find out what's going on with the Chargers because I'm always looking about news about them every single week. Key and Jay Will and them and Max, good stuff, right? I go over to Stephen A. Smith. He's yelling at somebody again. I'm like, Why?
He never
Why
really
do we
makes any
watch
points
this?
or topics. Like
He just sits there and gets
doesn't have any
obnoxious.
stats or anything like that. I know,
But he has his sources though. Can't forget. He always say, "I have
Forget
my
them
source."
sources. Listen, this man.
Somebody in the background told me this.
he does have that though. He really does.
I believe he knows a lot of people. He's been in the game for a long time. I believe he knows a lot of people and can get some information, like if there's a trade going down or something like that.
Not only that, but I'm sure a lot of players feel comfortable talking to him.
Yeah.
You know?
But when it comes to like,
Talk to people that he talks to.
right.
when it comes to like talking about the game or the different sports, I think I lost respect for him because I realized that the people he's been talking to, even if when it was with Skip, it was somebody who brought like facts to the table or someone who was like breaking down the game or something. And I realized he never did that.
He's never played.
He never did that on any of the shows he's been on. And so like I watch I watch UFC, right? I love UFC. This man came on there and was talking about, this is last year I think when Cowboy Cerrone fought McGregor, right?
You said EOC?
EOC. UFC.
Yeah, you were saying EOC, weren't you?
I don't know. UFC.
He was saying EOC, but I understand what you're trying to say.
Okay, all right.
Okay, UFC. Anyway, he was fighting him, right? And Conor beat him in the first round. And Stephen
in like the first minute, didn't he?
Yeah. And he was beating him. And the thing is like Donald Cerrone been in the game for a long time and all that stuff. And then Stephen A. Smith gets up there and says something like, Donald Cerrone didn't show me anything tonight, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just disappointed. And, he was just saying, making it look like Donald Cerrone was a terrible fighter and that, he shouldn't be doing it anymore. And I'm like, do you even know what you're looking at? Conor did a great job. It wasn't that Donald Cerrone was a bad fighter. Conor did a great job in this fight. And that's why he won that fast. And then it's funny because you see the other commentators standing up there beside him. They're just looking at him like, what are you talking about?
He's there just for entertainment. He has the face and the voice. But again, that's all part of the business. So you can't be mad.
No. I mean,
he's the highest paid person in ESPN.
It's funny. That might change because his show lost a lot of ratings since Max left.
Yeah, I heard. And they're probably going to end up giving him a, too. His
own show? He could.
Yeah.
He could run one. I really want to see him back in boxing, though.
I would like to see Stephen A. Smith have a late night show. He said he wants to have it like, Leno, like literally having his guests be
that
sports.
he could do that. That's his thing.
And I think that would be good. Just him asking
like
questions.
Scott Van Pelt. Scott Van Pelt?
Yeah, late
SVP?
night, ESPN late night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Something
I think
like
that would be good, and him have people on. That
Yeah.
would be great.
That's his alley.
It is. That way he can ask questions. Then he can do the banter.
And he can bring on like a Max or somebody like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's pretty much what he's trying to do right now in prime time.
That's what he's trying to do. But he wants it to be late night.
Yeah, so he's doing that right now in prime time
And
when
that's
it
what he
should be
should
late
do
night.
because he's getting exposed. I mean, look at Shannon Sharp is great, man.
Hey, that dude's funny. Hey, you hear about what DK said to him?
Who?
He was DK made a DK caught a pass on the sideline, right? He needed to get out of bounds, but he decided it'll be smart to try to get a little extra yards. And he tried it and lost the fumble, right? I think they lost the game. I don't remember. But
Sharp. I gotta get rid of Tyler Lockett. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, what's happening there? Anyway,
Russ.
Yeah, that's true. Did you see his finger?
I seen it when it happened.
That was crazy, right? And he was trying to come back in the game.
He put it back together.
He was trying to come back in the game with that funky
they didn't
finger.
let him come back?
No, they didn't. He was trying to, though.
But somebody else did it the same day, didn't they? Somebody broke their finger the same day, and they popped it back together, and they came back in the game.
Maybe dislocated, but his finger was like...
Yeah, his is broken, yeah.
So Shannon Sharp said something on Twitter, like, he's like, what was DK thinking? You know, you got to make smart plays or something like that. And DK he talked some junk. I think he said something like, he was like, kind of, he went down the lane of like, stay in your lane, you know, I'm playing sport, like who, like, kind of, I know, right? He was kind of like saying like, stay there, you keep commentating, you keep watching from afar or something like that, let me do my job or something like that. And then somebody, I think it was the Cleveland Browns or somebody, oh no, it was Denver Broncos. They was like, we heard somebody needed the resume of Shannon Sharp. And it showed all his Pro Bowls, all his Super Bowls, and all this stuff. And then DK replied later, he was like, yeah, you're right. I should probably take some notes.
Yeah, sheesh. Like, that's why you have to have played the game.
Yeah.
To commentate.
Yes.
Because people do that with Skip all the time. It's like, see, you don't know, you never played the game. And I used to hate that. They do that with Stephen A. Smith. And it's like, why you have these guys on here?
Yeah.
But I love it when they have someone like Kurt Warner on there, and it's like, mind your tone. Because this guy's forgotten more than what you'll ever learn. So
it's funny. Me and somebody was talking about Tony Romo and how he's a great commentator.
Tony, listen,
he kills it, right?
From the time. It's funny. You hear these voices like Marv Albert, and you hear these guys are like, man,
yeah.
When did these guys first get on? I can't imagine anyone else besides him. And it's like, how does it feel when someone new gets on and then you get kind of acclimated to that? Tony Romo, from the first time he got on there, it's like, we're going to listen to this guy for the next 30, 40 years.
This guy is so good, man. Like, the thing about him, too, he's a quarterback, a bona fide quarterback.
I thought it was a gimmick.
Right. You know how, like, everyone saw
I still listen to it. I'm like, I already know his voice. It's like, that's Tony.
So the thing is, like, when they first brought him, you think, oh, they're just bringing a veteran or like a retired player or something like that.
Yeah,
they do it every once in a while.
Peyton Manning.
And they brought him in, and I was like, yo, this dude could do this forever.
And he's explaining it to us.
Yeah.
To things that we don't know. He's like, this is why they're going to do that. They're going to pull this guy down, and he's bluffing, and right now they're playing chess. The quarterback is the captain, and the linebacker is the captain. And right now, they're playing chess right now. You guys don't realize it.
Yeah, there was a quarterback. I mean, there was a team. I can't remember who it was that did a... I wish I could remember who it was.
I think it was like last week. Was it not Tom Brady? Where he's like, see, Tom Brady's seen everything.
No. It was a play. So it was a team. I don't remember who it was, but they did a play, and I think there was a false start in the play. Tony Romo was like, hey, that play right there, that's a touchdown if they threw that. But it was a false start, so they didn't do the play.
It was the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's the same play I was talking about. He was like, Tony, what were they going to do? He's like, so this is what was going to happen. They were drawing everybody. He was like, you see the receiver? Do you do that on a running play? No, that receiver was going downfield.
Yeah.
So if it was a running play, he's getting ready to block
yeah.
and he's dragging him across.
And then four plays later. And
by the way, this was a play that they were right.
Yeah. 4 plays later, he did a play action pass. That same receiver did the same route, threw it to him, touchdown, won the game. He's like, oh, yeah, that's that play you were talking about, right? Yeah, Tony's like, yes, it went exactly how I said it was going to go.
Exactly. It was the Cowboys, right? It was
I think it was
CeeDee Lamb, right?
I think so.
Because they won the game off that play.
That's crazy. That's the play. That's what I like to see.
You know what? That was the game because because Dak Prescott threw a touchdown. It was like, this is the Cowboys 100,000 touchdown or something like that. It was like, do you ever wonder how many of those you have? And he was like, I already know the exact number. And I'm like, man, this guy.
You know what I think? Really quick. I think LeBron James is the best basketball player in basketball right now. But you know what I think is underrated for other players that people don't see? You remember that press conference when
where LeBron went back and said all this stuff? Tony Romo's that guy.
It's funny because I'm like, everybody was so impressed by it. And I'm like, this is basketball. These are professionals. Every point guard in the league can do that.
I don't think so.
Ask Steph Curry to do that. I bet he can.
You said every point guard. Steph Curry is like the best point guard.
Well, I'm talking about obviously he's a starting point guard. That's their job. Is to understand what's going on the floor. Yeah, that's their job to understand what's going on the floor.
I don't think John Morant can do that.
Probably not yet, but he will get to that point.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, this is not. It's funny how people thought, oh, he's a super brain, but it's like, players do this.
I don't think most people can do that. I think there's probably 20 people who can do that.
No. I give or take at least 2 people on every team. At least 2 people on every team.
Okay, 2 people on every team. I give you
Wait, that's still 20, ain't it? Oh, no, that's a little bit more.
Yeah, it's like 6. Okay, all right, I give you that. 2 people on every team, give or take.
But I don't think that's as rare as...
I don't think LaMelo can do that.
I mean, not yet.
I bet he can.
Not yet.
No, I bet he can do that.
Because he makes a lot of dumb plays, so I think...
You can make a dumb play, but still remember why you made a dumb play. That's how you get better.
I don't think LaMelo looks back at stuff like that without having a coach look at him on film.
Do you
think a coach goes to LeBron and says, this is what you did wrong?
No, because he does it himself.
Right. I think LaMelo needs that. I think someone sits down with LaMelo and says, hey, this is what you're doing wrong.
Nah, look at LaMelo's growth since he was a kid. That proves right there that he was able to look at something and say, all right, I messed up. Let me change it.
You can tell certain guys are just freaks, and then certain guys.
I bet Russell Westbrook can't do that.
Absolutely not.
No, but Steve Nash can do it. Chris Paul definitely can do it.
Look at the guys that you're naming.
I know. I'm going from top to lowest tier.
So who do you think's the lowest guy that could do something like that?
Somebody like De'Aaron Fox.
I don't think he can do it.
I think he'd do it to a certain extent.
I think if guys like De'Aaron Fox could do it, it would take him from being a good player to a star. Just that simple.
I'm hesitant to say he's a really good player.
I think De'Aaron Fox is a good player.
He's good, but
There's no doubt in my mind that Luka knows everything that's going on.
Oh yeah, Luka's
every
there.
second of the game.
Yeah, I think LaMelo
But
Ball
you're not
is
going to
there.
tell me DeAndre Jordan knows.
No. There are centers who I think like Tim Duncan used to be. I'm pretty sure he could do it.
See, that's what makes
I can't think of
good.
anybody
I'm
right.
pretty sure the starting five could have done it.
Who?
The
Spurs? Yeah.
But then again, they won 4 championships with them.
I'm looking at like Golden State. Same thing. I feel like all of them could do it too.
I mean, Draymond knows.
Oh, definitely.
Draymond knows when he's walking in the locker room what's going on.
Draymond knows a play from 3 years ago.
I mean,
and he's just waiting for that player to come next to him so he can say it to him out loud.
I mean, there's players like that. I mean, that separates the men from the boys.
Alec Baldwin. So you don't know anything about what happened?
No.
So I don't know a whole lot, but you know how in movies they shoot blanks and stuff, right? The actors shoot blanks from the guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, his prop gun went off.
Yeah.
And it was like a Brandon Lee situation.
Well, it's not. Yeah. So it's not like it's like a prop gun's like something fake that just it doesn't even have a trigger and stuff like that.
Right.
The thing is with guns, you actually shoot a real gun. It just has blanks, and I think some guns are made to only shoot blanks. But the thing is, with a blank, it can still be lethal.
No, it can't.
Yeah, it can.
A blank?
Yeah,
yes.
Because sometimes that shrapnel that's in it can sometimes get stuck in there, and if you shoot another one after it, it'll shoot that out as a projectile, and that's what makes it dangerous.
That's what happens with blanks.
So you're supposed to every time you shoot it.
Also, if you put
take it and clean it, or make sure
if you
nothing's in it.
put a blank, if you put a gun to your head with a blanket, it can still blow your brains out. I mean, well, not like a bullet would, but it can still kill you, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's what happened with him is that
We're talking about a blank, not a BB.
Yes, a blank.
A beanbag.
Yeah.
A rubber
blank.
Blank, like
Not a rubber.
Empty shell.
Yes. So he shot it, and I don't know where the cinematographer was or anything, but like it hit her and killed her.
What?
Yes. Can you think about how traumatized he is from that? Like, you've been doing stuff like this your entire life, and just one time you murdered. I mean, well, let's not say murder, but
it's not murder.
Killed somebody.
Man, poor Alec, man. He's
I
going
know
through so much.
he might retire after this, dude. I couldn't see myself acting anymore after accidentally killing some. Gosh, man, that's terrible.
How did it kill her?
So
was it somebody on scene or was it behind?
She was. She's a cinematographer, so she was probably holding the camera. He's probably pointing at the camera or towards that area or something like that. Whatever happened, it hit her somehow and killed her. Now I don't know if she was shot like in the heart or in the stomach and head or whatever, but she's dead. Man, that's just terrible. Just thinking about it.
I hope nothing else comes out. I hope it's just a freak accident because that's a freak accident. Even shrapnel. I mean, it would have to be a lot. It would have to be close. It would have to hit you right in the right spot.
But what are you doing in that situation? Like, if you're the actor and you see a person go down after pulling the trigger.
I want to know how that happened. I want to know what happened. How could that be possible?
Nathan, see if you can look it up.
And who's at fault for that?
Google it. Yeah, so I'm wondering if it's the prop guy's fault.
I mean, could they sue the gun? I mean...
Also, like, think
how
about...
does that happen?
This is kind of morbid, but what's going on in her head, too, as she gets shot by a blank?
What's going on in her head? I mean, it's probably a bunch of shrapnel.
I knew that was coming.
That's the girl?
Yeah.
Oh, man, she's beautiful. Man, Alec Baldwin really isn't aging well, huh?
Read it to us, Nathan. What's happening? Anything? Does it give us, like, what happened? What is it?
It says that somebody yelled cold gun, which in the film industry is basically saying that the gun...
You got an ad playing.
Has no live rounds in it.
Yeah.
So nobody expected nothing to be inside the gun. But then after he shot it...
Okay, so an assistant director handed handed Alec Baldwin a prop firearm and yelled "Cold gun" before the actor fired and killed. It sounds terrible when you say it that way, right? Before he fired and killed cinematographer Hallier Hutchins and injured director Joel. Oh, he shot 2 people with 1 bullet. One shell. Joel Souza, according to court document. Dang. The gun, the cold gun warrant was meant blah, blah, blah. According to the affidavit, Baldwin was handed one of the 3 prop guns by assistant director David Halls that were set up in the. Not know there were live rounds in the gun.
So
he did not know there were live rounds in the gun. Why are there live rounds on set in general?
So it was the prop director's fault because he's supposed to check
he says
it.
cold gun.
And he told it was a cold gun, saying that there's nothing in there.
But if there's live rounds, what do you mean live rounds? What's the like?
That's what I'm saying. Why is there live rounds on set with a movie? What do you need that for?
Why would there ever be live rounds?
To answer your question, she got hit in the chest.
Damn.
The only way you would need live rounds if you want to see what he's hitting.
Like if you're shooting off it, like if I want to shoot the fence in my backyard and I need to see the bullet hit the fence,
right?
That's it. But even then, some people use that, or they use little explosions. You know how like they put explosions in people's vests to shoot that like they got shot.
That's if you're shooting somebody, if you're shooting a person. But if you're shooting live rounds, like.
And want to know something else?
What?
According to 3 other crew members that had recently quit this set, there was 2 other incidents before Thursday.
But what were they had anything to do with Alec Baldwin?
It doesn't say that. This is what it says. 3 crew members who was last seen on the weekend told the Times that there were 2 accidental prop gun discharges before Thursday, and people are quitting.
What?
Yeah.
So this is like not like this is a free acting. It's like a thing. This has happened before. It's like an OSHA violation.
Yeah. And that's also another thing. It was saying before Thursday shooting, some crew members quit the production over concerns related to safety, including gun inspections and COVID-19 protocols.
Yikes.
So, so apparently something like that happened already twice before.
All right, now we're putting this podcast on the internet. So where are we getting that? Where are we getting that information from?
This is coming from.
Is it CNN?
So,
let me ask you a question about that though. Did anybody like was it the COVID protocols? Were they like anything involving ivermectin?
Ivermectin killed a person on set, and you're talking about COVID protocols?
No, I was just talking about we got this from CNN. They probably had something. We'll make sure.
He killed 2 people. I mean, how does he?
The other person did
the bullet go through her chest or?
She got hit in the chest.
Did it go through and hit someone else?
I don't think it says. It just says.
Was it like pow 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 or pow?
It says, right. But when the actor fired the gun, a live round hit Hutchins, 42, in the chest, and wounded Souza, 48, who was nearby, according to the affidavit.
Yeah, it didn't say where it hit him or him.
Jeez.
Dang. Yeah. I don't understand why there are live rounds there.
Nothing's gonna happen to Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, but the thing is too, like at the beginning of this conversation, I felt bad for him. I still do. But if you've had multiple incidents already before that even happened, like, don't you accept some type of accountability? I mean, if they were involving him, you know,
should have been stricter on the protocol. But yeah, I guess
It says he wasn't the one that shot it. It says the rounds were accidentally fired October 16th by Baldwin's stunt double, and he was told that the gun was cold.
Where are you getting this from again?
CNN.
I don't know, man.
There's a lot of mixed stuff going on.
I guess it'll get clearer as the days go on. But then again, they might change the story. You never know.
What should really be happening is research on the company that's actually filming this movie, because the film production company told Deadline in a statement that it was not notified of official complaints regarding weapon or prop safety on the set.
You know what's going to happen, right? This movie's going to come out and it's going to blow up because everybody want to see the movie that Alec Baldwin shot somebody on. That's crazy, man. Oh, yeah. Dang, there was something else we were going to be talking about just now.
I think that's it. I mean, Alec Baldwin killed somebody.
Alec Baldwin just killed somebody.
Man, he is definitely the worst Baldwin brother. I mean, at this point, it's just
That makes him the worst.
killing somebody does.
Yeah. Is he the one with the daughter that?
Yeah, he left all those
Strange.
voicemails, and
Yo,
he also went off on the guy on I don't think he's allowed to be on the airplane anymore.
he might already be the worst.
Yeah,
Before
yeah.
this is unredeemable now, right?
I mean, he spent the majority of his career being Donald Trump. Yeah, I don't think Tina Fey can save him from this.
Ain't no Charles Gambino can write a script that can redeem him.
He's out. He's out of here.
Yikes! Really quick, just to make me think about cars. Mellow Ball. Do you think the Hornets going to playoffs this year?
Yeah, I mean, we barely missed it last year,
I think this is the year.
and I think they're letting an extra team in, right? They're playing.
No, they still doing the play-in, right?
Yeah, they're still doing
play-in.
that play. They're not gonna get rid of that.
Yeah, that's
They're not going to get rid of it. I don't have a problem with that.
I like it.
A
Actually,
lot of people has a problem with that because for those people that's playing, if you lose one game or if you're in the last two spots and you lose that one game and it takes you out.
No, but it isn't the last two. It's a ninth spot.
it's like four
extra spot.
like 4 teams,
Yeah.
I think, right?
Right, so it's not. So it's a bonus. It's all the
So-
teams who legitimately get in, and then it's the bonus spot is
Yeah.
the 19,
But
right?
remember how it used to be? You play your season to gain either the 8th or 9th spot, but now your 8th and 9th spot, no matter how you play, now you have to play in a team that has a worse record than you. If they
Well, that's the whole
Right,
point.
right.
Yeah. It's like
But that's not for the 8th spot. That's for the 9th spot.
Yeah, and that's how most people felt about that last year.
Yeah. So what's
So-
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a free
You
spot.
know, some people are saying it's the continue playing pointless games, injuries and stuff like that.
No.
But, you know,
yeah, I don't think it's pointless because that's the whole point of that playoff
that-
system.
that
So
is the
for it
point.
not to be
Yeah.
pointless,
Right.
like if for example, if you're in 10th spot, right, then the rest of your games for the rest of the season is pointless. But if you
It
have a
gives you something
chance
to
to
fight
play
for.
in,
Yeah, it gives
it's
you
not
something to
pointless
fight for.
anymore.
for those people, it gives them a chance to fun and fight for it. So
Yeah.
I see where it's meaningful to some people. Some people just don't see it that way.
I like it. I think it's
I do too. I prefer.
It gives people like us a chance.
it's like it reminds me of like March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Even
literally where they
the
got
sorriest team still has a
Still,
chance.
Yeah, get in there and then do something or unknown.
And that's how you get the Cinderella team. Yeah, even if
Yeah.
they just go
Yeah.
far.
I mean, even like who made it in last year? Was it
I mean, Marquette did it one year.
no? I'm talking about in the play-in for NBA. Was it the Grizzlies?
The Trailblazers end up doing something, right?
I can't remember, but one of those teams ended up playing, and you're like, oh my gosh, are they really this good?
I
Was
remember
it?
we was in the play-in. The Lakers. We was in the play-in.
Yeah,
So
but
we
that
had to
don't
play
count.
the,
Don't say we
that
when we
doesn't
talking about the Lakers.
because we had to play the Warriors, didn't we?
Yeah,
They
but that
almost
doesn't
made it.
count though.
Yeah.
I mean, they did that on purpose, just so. I mean, clearly they was doing that on purpose, just so they can have an easier route.
Yeah, it was crazy that Steph almost took them to the playoffs last year
And
without.
that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
Teams like that's crazy. Especially,
then again,
it
they-
also helps teams that have suffered through injury.
Because they played twice, didn't they? They played the Lakers first, and then they had to go against the other team that had went in. And I think that's when they played the Grizzlies. And that's
It
when,
was Grizzlies then.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the Grizzlies.
I think Grizzlies were in there, and then they were playing pretty good, and you thought, hey, they might. Was it a Grizzlies? I feel like it was another team.
No, it was Ja Morant because when he got into the first round, he played that game really good, and everyone's like, "Oh snap, he might actually do something." But then I can't remember who they played. It was the
Who did it on the East side? Do you know who was the East
I don't remember who was
play-in team?
I remember it was. I want to say the Trailblazers in the first year, but that was in the bubble.
Yeah, we played somebody. I don't remember who it was.
But I would like to see the Hornets in the spot like that. But the Hornets are gonna have to get someone else to build around.
We need
Melo, man.
we need a center, a true center.
Yeah.
I'm tired of these Cody Zellers and Plumlees and
And then we do
Hansbros.
get the Whites and the Jeffersons is at the end of their career.
Yeah, we need to straight up get. I don't know who. What kind of player would you like right now? If there's a center in the league right now that we could get realistically.
I mean, I don't see why we don't get Andre Drummond. I mean, I know he clogs the lane, but if it's either someone like an Andre Drummond or, I mean, we don't even need anyone legit. I mean, there's guys, these stretch guys like the Markkanens of the league, Porzingis. I mean, there's so many guys like that.
What have we gotten a what's his name? Shaq in the Food Star.
JaVale McGee.
JaVale McGee.
I mean, even someone like that. But
I feel like
it's too late for guys like that. Why can't we get someone like that now? Like,
What you mean early in their career?
right before,
Like a Tyson Chandler.
early in their career. Yeah, you're right.
You see what I'm saying? That's what we have a history of doing. Is we get players and then we let them go to another team and then they become who they are. It's like, why do we keep doing that? You couldn't see that Tyson Chandler was going to be a championship player before, a defensive player of the year before you let him go?
Look at whatchamacallit. He's not a center, but Ben Simmons.
I don't want to talk about Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I talk about him enough.
He seems toxic now that I look at all the history in
Yeah,
retrospect.
I didn't even know about that history thing. You know about that? You heard about
down,
that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I seen his original scouting report, and it's like, Jesus Christ, whoever wrote this can predict the future. 'Cause it's like, this is exactly who he is.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense that you would want to go to NBA and say, "Hey, I'm pretty good. Let me go to NBA." But then people say, "All right, you can be better," and you're just like, "Nah."
Look at how the Knicks are building their team.
They actually been doing pretty
Yeah.
good.
I
I'm
mean, They're
surprised.
gonna be legit. The Knicks are gonna be legit this year. I mean, it's official.
It's
the Knicks are
funny
legit.
because like you look at what they did, and it makes sense. But then you have Stephen A.
Boy,
Smith.
I like my brother.
Stephen A. Smith just constantly bashing them. Oh, the Knicks are doing stupid stuff. Blah, 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 blah. And here they are now. They like they can go to the playoffs. Didn't they almost make the playoffs last year?
They were in the playoffs last year.
And
I
he's
think
still.
the Knicks is the team that we were talking about.
So what was it?
So the plan you had Indiana and Charlotte on the East Coast, Eastern Conference, and then you had Boston and Washington on the Eastern Conference.
I really like the playoff.
Washington
I do too.
Washington ended up winning, and Indiana ended up winning.
Yeah. So yeah, Memphis lost to Utah in the first round, right?
Yeah.
And then who won that? Washington or Indy? Washington won,
Yeah.
and then they lost to Philly. But was that game close though? No, it wasn't. That series wasn't close, was it?
No. Atlanta and New York was close, but Trae Young just.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
like how
Trae
they
Young
say
went off last year.
If you're in the play-in tournament, you're in the playoffs. See, I don't like that wording.
No, that shouldn't be
Because
like that.
last year it was like, all right, the Hornets are in the playoffs, but we were in the play-in tournament.
Yeah.
No,
We
it shouldn't
were
be.
playing.
It shouldn't be said like that.
That's what threw me off. But yeah, I definitely see us winning more than 33 games this year.
Oh yeah, yeah. I feel like we might be top 5. Wait, let's look
in
at
the
it.
East?
Let's look at it.
Current status.
In the East, what we got?
Oh, let's look at what it was last year.
Last year we had Philly. They
They're going to
can.
stay in there. The Knicks are probably going to be number 2.
You think so?
The Knicks are like
I
So
think
who you
Milwaukee
guys
might
number
be
one?
Philly too.
number 1 is going to be Philly again, I think.
No, we're forgetting about Brooklyn and Boston.
Yeah, you're right.
So
you're right,
Brooklyn,
you're right.
Boston, Philly, and Philly has a legitimate shot of not making the top 3.
So Brooklyn.
Miami are iffy. They can be top or they can be low. Milwaukee,
Oh yeah, we forgot about Milwaukee. So Milwaukee's going to be number 1, right? Can we
Milwaukee,
agree on
Brooklyn, Boston.
Yeah, and then Philly and New York. But then again, you got Atlanta though.
Yeah, you
And
don't.
then you got
so
Miami.
hey, I'm saying this. So I'm saying this. So New York, Atlanta, Miami. I'm saying that we are on par with them this season.
You said New York, Miami, and who?
In Atlanta,
Yes.
we can take that 5th spot from either one of them.
Yes, I agree.
So Hornets 5th seed possibly.
Possible 5, yeah.
5 impossible.
We need to play spades, by the way. Get back to it.
Because Boston didn't lose anybody, right?
No, they actually got Al Horford back.
Okay, so I like Boston. Philly.
That's what I'm saying. Philly can
doesn't
drop
have
or go up.
Ben Simmons, but didn't they get Andre
He's playing,
Drummond?
but they don't know he's going to play anytime soon.
So it depends on what happens with him.
Yeah.
He actually makes a
And
big
then
difference.
Brooklyn, I read this
Then-
morning is talking about moving Kyrie to get John Wall from Houston.
Oh, they're gonna trade him because he didn't want to get vaccinated.
Yeah, because they don't want him to play
And
only half
Houston's
the
willing
games.
to take Kyrie without
That's also
vaccine.
sketchy because what if they go? What if they get to the playoffs and have to play home games in New York? You gotta be vaccinated to play in New York.
But you also have to remember. But Kyrie said he'd get traded. He's retiring.
Well, what I'm saying, like, if they, I mean, it makes sense for them to say,
Wait,
hey,
Kyrie said that?
Yeah.
Like, technically, or he's not going to play basketball anymore?
I mean, he's gonna retire until the mandate is gone.
Cause he is literally against what he's for. So he said, if they move me because of this, I just won't play.
That doesn't make sense to me, though.
Because he doesn't want. He's doing what you said you had respect for.
Yeah, sticking to his guns.
Yeah, but if they move him and he can play somewhere else, why would he not play?
He can't. He still have to play, like, miss a lot of his games because you gotta go to New York. You gotta go to California. Those are the places you can't play unless you got vaccinated. Unless you're vaccinated.
So he just doesn't want to play at all then. Because no matter where he goes, he's going to be the same thing.
Right.
But at least he can play more home games in Houston.
Right. And like I said, if you go to Golden State,
and they're willing to pay him, he's basically getting paid double the money because he's only going to be able to play half the games.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But again, it's like you go to New York, you go to California, you won't be able to play. So what you gonna do in the playoffs when you got to play these teams? Mm-hmm. And is a team willing to risk that? Like, what if Houston? Not gonna happen. But what if they end up going to the Houston is West. What if they go to playoffs in the first round, play-in tournament? They gotta play against Golden State.
Any team. I mean, if we're doing numbers, look at the odds. I mean, there's 4 teams in the West.
Then
there's 2 teams or 3 teams in New York. The Knicks.
And you need Kyrie for that game.
New York, right? The Knicks, the Nets.
So
no, I'm thinking about football.
So I mean,
yeah, you're right. I would take that money. That's free money at that point.
True. Stick to your guns and get paid more for it.
Exactly. I guess that's the way I was looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a lot shaking up but it's still who do the Hornets is more than just watching everybody fall around you. You got to do something to actually play offense.
To be fair though, I don't think he will retire. I just think he said it's like
I don't put it past
like, oh,
not with Kyrie.
Ever since Carson Palmer did it, it's like
yeah, that's true.
I think he'll probably just sit out games.
I think Kyrie will retire.
I think Kyrie.
See, that's the thing. I respect him.
I think he will not play until something happens where the league is like, hey, you can come back and you don't have to be mandated. Like, well, I mean, it's a New York and a California thing, so it's up to their law. But unless New York and California decide, hey, one day, okay, we feel like COVID is not as crazy as it used to be. It's not mandated to have a vaccine anymore. Then he'll come back. But if he got traded right now, and I don't doubt he'll retire for real. And then if there's a possibility to come back, he will. But it may be too late by then. But I think he I don't doubt him saying that.
Because when they asked him, he just gave a Kyrie response about it. Because like they said, people from his camp said, it's more than likely he would. Then when they asked him personally, he just said, my mask is off. How about y'all?
I don't see him. So, I don't see him going to another team and playing for real.
Yeah.
I mean, because he went to Boston because he wanted to get out of Cleveland. But when he went to Boston, they had a legit shot of getting to the championship game, and he played. He went to New York because he wanted to get to championship and win. Mm-hmm. Now, who else? I mean, if he goes to like Washington,
but right now it's saying
if he goes to Houston,
doesn't affect us.
It doesn't affect us, but
the Hornets as far as how we move.
It doesn't affect us, but he's gonna be like, do you think I'm gonna risk my body? He already has knee issues. You think I'm gonna risk my body playing for Houston to not play for a championship game?
No, he's not gonna play for a championship now.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. But now he doesn't have to risk his body for it.
And he's getting paid. Well, possibly.
Yeah, he's getting paid the remainder.
They'll probably find some way to find him.
He's getting paid the remainder of his contract for this year, and he already lost his re-signing. Any bonuses that he would have gotten, he's already lost.
Well, they was going to do that anyway because,
Oh, what we look like on time?
take a.
I mean, that's my shameless plug is the Charlotte Hornets.
All right.
I want to see them make the playoffs. I'm looking at this right now. I feel like
Let's do
they're
that
gonna
then.
win more than 33
Really quick.
games.
Shameless plug, Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, I feel like with the team that we have now, with LaMelo being healthy and being a year older and more experienced,
Yeah.
33 is our floor.
I think.
That's our floor.
Really? That's low. I'm
Yeah.
thinking 40.
Of games won, or
Going in this season, 33 is our floor.
I say 40.
of games won, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying 40.
So you think we lose? We automatically we're gonna win.
33, you're not going to play in, are you?
Yeah, I'm looking at. That's what I'm using as our target.
He basically.
Oh,
based
you're
off
looking
of
at the
last year.
lowest.
Last year.
Nah, I'm thinking we're going 40.
That was our height. I think that's our floor now.
The highest is 42. I'm thinking
You
we're
also
going
have to
40.
remember that's only
A shortened season.
Yeah, short season. There's a full 82 this year.
So how many games did we play last season? What was that?
I say 60,
Man, what is that? 30,
like 70 something.
70.
That's 72.
Yeah.
So add 10 more games.
Yeah, 10 games left.
So cut that in half. So add 5, so 38. I'll do 38.
I say 40. 40 is the least. I mean, we're not
That's
losing.
big talk,
we're not
man.
playing more, less than that. Listen, I got faith in them boys
So
this
you
year.
believe in that spot it'll be Miami this time? Okay, they're 40 and 32 on that one.
Yeah, I'm saying we're going to be fifth. I'm saying fifth or sixth.
Yeah, but that would mean we'll be 40 and 42. Right?
At least the worst. At the worst, that's our worst case scenario, I believe, this season. I could be wrong,
Okay.
but that's why I like.
I think that's reasonable. 40 and 42. Yeah, that's reasonable.
Mine is for my depressing, but I'm still proud of them. Los Angeles Lakers. 0-2.
Yeah, they look like a mess.
Yeah, they were fighting. You sent me that, right?
Yeah, they were fighting. Freaking Westbrook playing like trash right now.
Yeah, Westbrook and
Did you Westbrook?
the flight and Anthony Davis. Yeah. Hopefully it gets better as the season goes on.
You know, it's funny. I feel like that team needs better leadership. And I'm not saying they don't have good leadership. I'm saying that the leadership can be better. LeBron and AD has to get their act together before everybody else does. Because you watch the games and you see like LeBron and AD not getting back on defense. Mm-hmm. LeBron complaining, AD throwing his hands up and stuff like that. It's like, what do you expect the rest of the teammates to do when they look at you, the best players in the league?
That body language means a lot.
What?
I said body language means a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And when you do that around, look at Kobe. Kobe didn't do that junk. Kobe went back and played hard, and then he came to the bench and fussed everybody else. You can't fuss anybody else out when you out there not playing defense, right?
They need like an actual head coach that's like actually going to do something. That's not scared like
Yeah.
LeBron.
Right.
He need like let's say Popovich
need
decided
Ty
to leave San Antonio. And
Or
came
Phil Jackson.
Or like he came back.
Someone who was a bigger name than LeBron James.
You know what? I feel like if Pop came there, him and LeBron would probably bump heads.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I think LeBron, at this point in his career, is the coach. And if you bring in a Pop who runs as a legit coach, like he's not like, oh, I'm right beside the players, I'm with the guys. He's more of like a, hey guys, this is what we're doing today. And if LeBron is already that, feel like he's in that position, I feel like he might bump heads.
Has LeBron ever had like a legit strong coach?
No.
Ty Lue was the best coach he's had, and that's it.
Because
And even then, it was like
when
they
he was
they
in
played together.
Miami, I don't really remember anything else.
Spoelstra was, I feel like Spoelstra
Because
was.
Spoelstra just
was-
got started when he
Yeah,
got
he
in there.
just started. He was young too. Like it was like Dwayne Wade's team,
Yeah.
and then LeBron came, and then it was like, all right, we got this big three, letting them do what they're gonna do. I don't think LeBron has had a coach in the NBA that's been like a Phil Jackson or a Pop or someone who's gonna like, like Brad Stevens with Boston, where he calls the shots and stuff. Now I'm not saying like you always need that in the NBA.
If you
But-
look at Jordan and Kobe, they did have a coach like that.
Yeah, they had the same coach like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And
that's
those are always the people that you go to for greatest of all time. They were like Kobe or.
And it's
Michael
like the
Jordan.
Stephen A. Smith thing. If somebody's talking to you, you're like, man, you ain't never played this game before.
Mm-hmm.
But then if Shannon Sharp's your coach, you're like, oh, yeah. maybe
I
can learn
got
a
you.
few
I
things.
understand. Yeah, it's like that. And again, it goes back to like the leadership. they need to do that from top down. Coach needs to be a good, strong leader, someone who can control the locker room and get the respect of all the players. And LeBron James and AD need to make sure that they can encourage the other players to respect the coach, and also to encourage the other players to get in line and get on board with the system. Because like we hear about this all the time, players play, and then one player not fitting in the system or whatever, and then they end up going to another team. The reason why is because they didn't fit with what the team was trying to do, and the team was trying to look for greatness. If you don't fit, you got to go. It's not that hard. Listen, guy, we understand you don't want to do what we want to do. We don't have no ill will against you, but you can't play with us because we're looking for something that you're not looking for. And so, like, LeBron and AD got to get the players, the rest of the team, like, hey, listen, we got a coach. We need to respect him. We need to work together to win this chip. And if y'all can't get on board with that, then I love you, but you got to go because you're not looking for the same thing we're looking for. But when you out there pouting and complaining and getting in arguments on the bench and stuff, like, the argument on the bench, granted, that happens a lot. We get that. That's frustration. That's players, getting passionate about what they love. But when you're not giving your all and then you expecting other players to give their all and then you fighting with the other players because one of y'all not giving your all, it's like, what do you expect him to do when you're not doing the thing you want him to do? Yeah. I'm sorry about your Lakers. I think.
Sorry, yeah. I mean, no.
I give us by December to get this thing worked out. If not,
I feel like it can go two ways. They can either win the championship or they can end up, barely getting through in the bubble.
That's what I said December. Cause normally by December, you kind of know where a team is going to be at by the end of the season.
Yeah. That's a good
point. You know how LeBron is. He always turns it up after a while anyways.
After all the years of playing basketball, I kind of noticed that once by December, getting into like All-Star weekend, close to that, you already know which teams are about to be.
You know what'll happen too. Like before the trade deadline, LeBron to kick a couple people off the team too.
remember when he was playing on the Cavaliers and half the whole team was gone?
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
He won a ring too.
Yeah, he did.
He got rid of his best friend. He said, "Wade, I love you, but you gotta go."
That was crazy when that happened. I was like, I can't believe they sent that man. Did he go back to Miami? Yeah. Dwayne Wade was like, listen, King, I ain't gonna even hold you. I feel you, dog. I ain't got it no more. Yeah, they can turn it around though. It's 2-3 games in.
Two.
So
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so hungry.
Yeah, it's time to eat, y'all. All right. Y'all, we had fun. Had another conversation. I hope we can get Ri'Yadh and Isaac here one day and we can jump into some other stuff. But if y'all keep listening, let us know what y'all want. We can fix it up, make the podcast better. Tell us what y'all like, what y'all don't like. We can figure out where to go next. But we hope y'all stick with us, the Storytellers. Y'all want to tell them like where they can find you, like Twitter, Instagram, or something like that?
Man, all I have is Twitter. Supreme Cairo.
No
that's
underscore.
the only thing it's Supreme _ Cairo. That's the only thing that I'm really on.
Are you? Never mind.
I don't have Facebook or anything now.
Why did you get rid of all that stuff?
I just never use it. It was just negative to me.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't open it.
Not anything that I use to like engage with people. So
yeah, I don't engage with people. I got stuff, but I just don't care for people following me.
yeah.
I want people to follow this stuff. So follow us on like, dang, I'm terrible at this. We got YouTube, Instagram, something else. Anyway, I'll probably like put something here or, in the future episodes we'll get better at promoting our podcast. But yeah, guys, we hope you come back. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. We can get better at this, and hopefully we have some cool, fun things in store that we have ideas for. We're just hoping that we can, get to a consistent basis so we can make this better and more fun. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. See y'all later.
Peace.